एक जिले एक साझा संकल्प के साथ नागरिकों की सेवा में जुटे हैं। ये प्रतिबद्धता केवल प्रशासनिक सक्रियता नहीं, बल्कि बदलाव के प्रति एक जीवंत उत्साह है, जिसने सुशासन को नई दिशा दी है। त्रिपुरा के गोमती जिले में प्रशासन समग्र विकास की मजबूत नींव रख रहा है। मिशन इंद्रधनुष से बच्चों को सुरक्षा मिल रही है। पोषण अभियान से कुपोषण पर प्रभावी प्रहार हो रहा है। गुजरात के राजकोट में प्रधानमंत्री सूर्य घर योजना से ऊर्जा आत्मनिर्भरता बढ़ रही है और किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड से किसानों को आर्थिक सहारा मिल रहा है। मध्य प्रदेश के झाबुआ जिले में आदिवासी परिवारों के जीवन में फैल रहा है सेहत का उजियारा, किसानों को मृदा कार्ड और हर घर जल ने दी जीवन में नई उमंग। उत्तर प्रदेश में सुगम्य पुस्तकालय दिव्यांगजनों के लिए ज्ञान और आत्मविश्वास के नए रास्ते खोल रहे हैं। वहीं पोषण ट्रैकर देश भर में 9 करोड़ से अधिक बच्चों के स्वास्थ्य की सतत निगरानी कर समय पर देखभाल सुनिश्चित कर रहा है। प्रशासन गांव की ओर के इस चौथे अभियान के तहत सुशासन की प्रभावी पहल, जन शिकायतों के तुरंत समाधान और बेहतर सेवा प्रणाली पर विशेष ध्यान दिया गया है। इसी उद्देश्य से एक पोर्टल विकसित किया गया है, जहां अधिकारी नियमित रूप से अपनी प्रगति साझा कर रहे हैं। विशेष शिविरों में निपटाई गई शिकायतें हों, सीपी ग्राम्स और राज्य पोर्टलों पर हुए समाधान, ऑनलाइन सेवाओं में जोड़ी गई नई सुविधाएं और निस्तारित सेवा आवेदन, हर उपलब्धि का रिकॉर्ड यहां दर्ज किया जा रहा है। सुशासन की श्रेष्ठ पहलों को चित्रों के साथ पोर्टल पर साझा किया जा रहा है।
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के मार्गदर्शन में हमने पिछले कुछ वर्षों में टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन सेवाओं, पारदर्शिता और हर जिले व प्रशासन में जवाबदेही को नए दौर के रूप में सुशासन के परिवर्तन को जमीन पर उतरते हुए देखा है। गुड गवर्नेंस वीक 2025 हमारे लिए केवल एक सप्ताह का कार्यक्रम नहीं है, बल्कि भारत के आम नागरिक तक सुशासन की भावना पहुंचाने का एक राष्ट्रीय संकल्प है। चलिए मिलकर एक ऐसे भारत की रचना करें जहां सुशासन सबके लिए एक हक हो। जय हिंद, जय भारत, वंदे मातरम।
करोड़ों भारतवासियों के जीवन में उम्मीद, सम्मान और समग्र विकास की रोशनी जगाते हुए प्रशासन गांव की ओर हर नागरिक को विकास का सहभागी बनाने की एक निरंतर यात्रा है।
नमस्कार। सुशासन सप्ताह 2025 में प्रशासनिक सुधार और लोक शिकायत विभाग द्वारा आयोजित वर्कशॉप ऑन गुड गवर्नेंस प्रैक्टिसेस में विभिन्न मंत्रालयों और विभागों से आए स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 के नोडल अधिकारियों तथा प्रतिनिधियों का हम हार्दिक स्वागत करते हैं। इस कार्यक्रम में देश भर से ऑनलाइन हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं सभी जिला कलेक्टर और सभी जिला मजिस्ट्रेट, हम आपका स्वागत करते हैं। सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों का सादर स्वागत है, अभिनंदन है। प्रशासनिक सुधार और लोक शिकायत विभाग ने 2 अक्टूबर से 31 अक्टूबर 2025 तक स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 का आयोजन किया, जिसका उद्देश्य स्वच्छता को संस्थागत करना था। विभाग द्वारा लोक शिकायतों का यथाशीघ्र निवारण सुनिश्चित किया जाता है। विभिन्न मंत्रालयों विभागों द्वारा किए जा रहे नवाचारों से शासन में पारदर्शिता सुनिश्चित हुई है, कार्य क्षमता बढ़ रही है। विभाग द्वारा संचालित प्रशासन गांव की ओर कार्यक्रम के अंतर्गत देश भर के राज्यों में जिला कलेक्टर, जिला मजिस्ट्रेट मिशन मोड में लोक शिकायतों का निवारण कर रहे हैं। इस प्रकार परम माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के गवर्नमेंट एट योर डोर स्टेप संकल्प को साकार किया जा रहा है। आज के कार्यक्रम के मुख्य अतिथि हैं डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी, माननीय राज्य मंत्री कार्मिक लोक शिकायत तथा पेंशन मंत्रालय, राज्य मंत्री प्रधानमंत्री कार्यालय। माननीय मंत्री जी के साथ स्पेशल कैंपेन 2.0 के नोडल अधिकारियों का एक ग्रुप फोटो होगा। तो माननीय मंत्री जी जैसे ही पधारेंगे, आप सबसे अनुरोध है स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 के नोडल अधिकारियों से अनुरोध है, कृपया बाहर ग्रुप फोटो के लिए एकत्रित हों। कुछ ही क्षणों में हम कार्यक्रम आरंभ करेंगे। आप सबसे सादर अनुरोध है, कृपया अपने मोबाइल फोन साइलेंट कर लें। धन्यवाद।
लोकतंत्र तभी सशक्त होता है जब कल्याण की योजनाएं फाइलों से निकलकर गांव की हर चौपाल तक पहुंचे और लोगों के जीवन में वास्तविक बदलाव लाए। यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में विकसित भारत 2047 की ओर बढ़ते हुए शासन की परिभाषा को नया अर्थ दिया है, जहां शासन का लक्ष्य जनसेवा है।
पिछला एक दशक देश में गुड गवर्नेंस का दशक रहा है। गुड गवर्नेंस और विकास की धारा रिफॉर्म्स की गंगोत्री से ही निकलती है।
नागरिक सर्वप्रथम ये केवल सिद्धांत नहीं बल्कि शासन का केंद्र बिंदु है। सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास, सबका प्रयास का ये मंत्र अब नीतियों में नहीं व्यवहार में भी है। DARPG के राष्ट्रीय कार्यक्रमों के अंतर्गत प्रशासन गांव की ओर भारत के प्रशासनिक आधार को मजबूत कर एक साझा राष्ट्रीय प्रयास बन चुका है। सुशासन सप्ताह के इस 5वें वर्ष में 19 से 25 दिसंबर 2025 के बीच देश के पूरब से पश्चिम और उत्तर से दक्षिण तक सभी राज्य, केंद्र शासित प्रदेश और 700 से अधिक जिले एक साझा संकल्प के साथ नागरिकों की सेवा में जुटे हैं। ये प्रतिबद्धता केवल प्रशासनिक सक्रियता नहीं बल्कि बदलाव के प्रति एक जीवंत उत्साह है, जिसने सुशासन को नई दिशा दी है। त्रिपुरा के गोमती जिले में प्रशासन समग्र विकास की मजबूत नींव रख रहा है। मिशन इंद्रधनुष से बच्चों को सुरक्षा मिल रही है। पोषण अभियान से कुपोषण पर प्रभावी प्रहार हो रहा है। गुजरात के राजकोट में प्रधानमंत्री सूर्य घर योजना से ऊर्जा आत्मनिर्भरता बढ़ रही है और किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड से किसानों को आर्थिक सहारा मिल रहा है। मध्य प्रदेश के झाबुआ जिले में आदिवासी परिवारों के जीवन में फैल रहा है सेहत का उजियारा। किसानों को मृदा कार्ड और हर घर जल ने दी जीवन में नई उमंग। उत्तर प्रदेश में सुगम्य पुस्तकालय दिव्यांगजनों के लिए ज्ञान और आत्मविश्वास के नए रास्ते खोल रहे हैं। वहीं पोषण ट्रैकर देश भर में 9 करोड़ से अधिक बच्चों के स्वास्थ्य की सतत निगरानी कर समय पर देखभाल सुनिश्चित कर रहा है। प्रशासन गांव की ओर के इस चौथे अभियान के तहत सुशासन की प्रभावी पहल, जन शिकायतों के तुरंत समाधान और बेहतर सेवा प्रणाली पर विशेष ध्यान दिया गया है। इसी उद्देश्य से एक पोर्टल विकसित किया गया है, जहां अधिकारी नियमित रूप से अपनी प्रगति साझा कर रहे हैं। विशेष शिविरों में निपटाई गई शिकायतें हों, सीपी ग्राम्स और राज्य पोर्टलों पर हुए समाधान, ऑनलाइन सेवाओं में जोड़ी गई नई सुविधाएं और निस्तारित सेवा आवेदन, हर उपलब्धि का रिकॉर्ड यहां दर्ज किया जा रहा है। सुशासन की श्रेष्ठ पहलों को चित्रों के साथ पोर्टल पर साझा किया जा रहा है।
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के मार्गदर्शन में हमने पिछले कुछ वर्षों में टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन सेवाओं, पारदर्शिता और हर जिले व प्रशासन में जवाबदेही को नए दौर के रूप में सुशासन के परिवर्तन को जमीन पर उतरते हुए देखा है। गुड गवर्नेंस वीक 2025 हमारे लिए केवल एक सप्ताह का कार्यक्रम नहीं है, बल्कि भारत के आम नागरिक तक सुशासन की भावना पहुंचाने का एक राष्ट्रीय संकल्प है। चलिए मिलकर एक ऐसे भारत की रचना करें जहां सुशासन सबके लिए एक हक हो। जय हिंद, जय भारत, वंदे मातरम।
करोड़ों भारतवासियों के जीवन में उम्मीद, सम्मान और समग्र विकास की रोशनी जगाते हुए प्रशासन गांव की ओर हर नागरिक को विकास का सहभागी बनाने की एक निरंतर यात्रा है।
स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 के सभी नोडल अधिकारियों से हम अनुरोध करते हैं, माननीय मंत्री महोदय जी के साथ आपका ग्रुप फोटो होगा, कृपया बाहर एकत्रित हो जाएं ग्रुप फोटो के स्थान पर। सभी स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 के नोडल अधिकारी। साथ ही हम सभी आदरणीय सेक्रेटरीज और जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी से भी अनुरोध करते हैं, माननीय मंत्री महोदय जी के साथ ग्रुप फोटो के लिए आप सभी बाहर की ओर प्रस्थान करें। सभी सेक्रेटरीज, एडिशनल सेक्रेटरीज, जॉइंट सेक्रेटरीज, आप सभी से अनुरोध है, कृपया ग्रुप फोटो के लिए बाहर की ओर प्रस्थान करें। हेलो, एम आई ऑडिबल? जी, थैंक यू।
रैप करा दिए।
एक बार पुनः अनुरोध, कृपया अपने मोबाइल फोन सभी साइलेंट कर लें।
लोकतंत्र तभी सशक्त होता है जब कल्याण की योजनाएं फाइलों से निकलकर गांव की हर चौपाल तक पहुंचे और लोगों के जीवन में वास्तविक बदलाव लाए।
क्या मतलब उनके स्वागत के लिए और ग्रुप फोटोग्राफ के लिए काइंडली मेन गेट की तरफ प्रस्थान करें।
यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में विकसित भारत 2047 की ओर बढ़ते हुए शासन की परिभाषा को नया अर्थ दिया है, जहां शासन का लक्ष्य जनसेवा है।
पिछला एक दशक देश में गुड गवर्नेंस का दशक रहा है। गुड गवर्नेंस और विकास की धारा रिफॉर्म्स की गंगोत्री से ही निकलती है।
नागरिक सर्वप्रथम ये केवल सिद्धांत नहीं बल्कि शासन का केंद्र बिंदु है। सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास, सबका प्रयास का ये मंत्र अब नीतियों में नहीं व्यवहार में भी है। DARPG के राष्ट्रीय कार्यक्रमों के अंतर्गत प्रशासन गांव की ओर भारत के प्रशासनिक आधार को मजबूत कर एक साझा राष्ट्रीय प्रयास बन चुका है। सुशासन सप्ताह के इस 5वें वर्ष में 19 से 25 दिसंबर 2025 के बीच देश के पूरब से पश्चिम और उत्तर से दक्षिण तक सभी राज्य, केंद्र शासित प्रदेश और 700 से अधिक जिले एक साझा संकल्प के साथ नागरिकों की सेवा में जुटे हैं। ये प्रतिबद्धता केवल प्रशासनिक सक्रियता नहीं बल्कि बदलाव के प्रति एक जीवंत उत्साह है, जिसने सुशासन को नई दिशा दी है। त्रिपुरा के गोमती जिले में प्रशासन समग्र विकास की मजबूत नींव रख रहा है। मिशन इंद्रधनुष से बच्चों को सुरक्षा मिल रही है। पोषण अभियान से कुपोषण पर प्रभावी प्रहार हो रहा है। गुजरात के राजकोट में प्रधानमंत्री सूर्य घर योजना से ऊर्जा आत्मनिर्भरता बढ़ रही है और किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड से किसानों को आर्थिक सहारा मिल रहा है। मध्य प्रदेश के झाबुआ जिले में आदिवासी परिवारों के जीवन में फैल रहा है सेहत का उजियारा, किसानों को मृदा कार्ड और हर घर जल ने दी जीवन में नई उमंग। उत्तर प्रदेश में सुगम्य पुस्तकालय दिव्यांगजनों के लिए ज्ञान और आत्मविश्वास के नए रास्ते खोल रहे हैं। वहीं पोषण ट्रैकर देश भर में 9 करोड़ से अधिक बच्चों के स्वास्थ्य की सतत निगरानी कर समय पर देखभाल सुनिश्चित कर रहा है। प्रशासन गांव की ओर के इस चौथे अभियान के तहत सुशासन की प्रभावी पहल, जन शिकायतों के तुरंत समाधान और बेहतर सेवा प्रणाली पर विशेष ध्यान दिया गया है। इसी उद्देश्य से एक पोर्टल विकसित किया।
हेलो, एक बार हम पुनः अनुरोध करते हैं स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 के सभी नोडल अधिकारी कृपया बाहर ग्रुप फोटो के लिए जाएं।
गया है जहां अधिकारी नियमित रूप से अपनी प्रगति साझा कर रहे हैं। विशेष शिविरों में निपटाई गई शिकायतें हों, सीपी ग्राम्स और राज्य पोर्टलों पर हुए समाधान, ऑनलाइन सेवाओं में जोड़ी गई नई सुविधाएं और निस्तारित सेवा आवेदन, हर उपलब्धि का रिकॉर्ड यहां दर्ज किया जा रहा है। सुशासन की श्रेष्ठ पहलों को चित्रों के साथ पोर्टल पर साझा किया जा रहा है।
प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के मार्गदर्शन में हमने पिछले कुछ वर्षों में टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन सेवाओं, पारदर्शिता और हर जिले व प्रशासन में जवाबदेही को नए दौर के रूप में सुशासन के परिवर्तन को जमीन पर उतरते हुए देखा है। गुड गवर्नेंस वीक 2025 हमारे लिए केवल एक सप्ताह का कार्यक्रम नहीं है, बल्कि भारत के आम नागरिक तक सुशासन की भावना पहुंचाने का एक राष्ट्रीय संकल्प है। चलिए मिलकर एक ऐसे भारत की रचना करें जहां सुशासन सबके लिए एक हक हो। जय हिंद, जय भारत, वंदे मातरम।
करोड़ों भारतवासियों के जीवन में उम्मीद, सम्मान और समग्र विकास की रोशनी जगाते हुए प्रशासन गांव की ओर हर नागरिक को विकास का सहभागी बनाने की एक निरंतर यात्रा है।
हमारे बीच कार्यक्रम के मुख्य अतिथि पधार रहे हैं। आइए अपने स्थान पर खड़े होकर करतल ध्वनि से स्वागत करें माननीय राज्य मंत्री कार्मिक लोक शिकायत तथा पेंशन मंत्रालय डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह जी का वंदन अभिनंदन। बहुत बहुत स्वागत माननीय, हार्दिक अभिनंदन। माननीय, आपकी ओजपूर्ण उपस्थिति से हम सब अभिभूत हैं। मंच पर स्वागत है आदरणीय सचिव कार्मिक लोक शिकायत तथा पेंशन मंत्रालय सुश्री रचना शाह जी का, आदरणीय सचिव डाक विभाग सुश्री वंदिता कौल जी, आदरणीय सचिव मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड हाईवे श्री वी उमाशंकर जी, आदरणीय सचिव मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स श्री सीबी जॉर्ज जी, आदरणीय सचिव मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट श्री सुधांशु पंत जी, आदरणीय अपर सचिव डीओपीटी श्री मनोज कुमार द्विवेदी जी, आदरणीय ईओ और अपर सचिव डीओपीटी सुश्री मनीषा सक्सेना जी, आदरणीय अपर सचिव डीएआरपी जी श्री पुनीत यादव जी, आप सभी का हार्दिक स्वागत है, अभिनंदन है। अब हम अनुरोध करते हैं आदरणीय सचिव महोदया जी आपसे कृपया माननीय मंत्री महोदय जी का स्वागत सम्मान करें। मैम, आपसे अनुरोध है आदरणीय अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी की पुस्तक विकसित अर्थव्यवस्था की ओर माननीय मंत्री जी को भेंट करें। विकसित अर्थव्यवस्था की ओर पुस्तिका आदरणीय अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी की लिखी। धन्यवाद मैम। अब हम अनुरोध करते हैं आदरणीय संयुक्त सचिव सुश्री सरिता चौहान जी आपसे कृपया सचिव कार्मिक लोक शिकायत तथा पेंशन मंत्रालय सुश्री रचना शाह जी का स्वागत करें। मैम, आपसे पुनः अनुरोध है आदरणीय सचिव डाक विभाग सुश्री वंदिता कौल जी का भी स्वागत करें। पुनः अनुरोध है आदरणीय सचिव मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड हाईवे श्री वी उमाशंकर जी का भी स्वागत करें। मैम, आपसे पुनः अनुरोध है संयुक्त सचिव डीओपीटी सुश्री छवि भारद्वाज जी क्षमा चाहती हूँ, आदरणीय सचिव मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट श्री सुधांशु पंत जी का स्वागत करें। धन्यवाद मैम। और अब हम अनुरोध करते हैं आदरणीय ईओ और अपर सचिव डीओपीटी सुश्री मनीषा सक्सेना जी का स्वागत करने के लिए हम छवि मैम को आमंत्रित करते हैं। संयुक्त सचिव डीओपीटी सुश्री छवि भारद्वाज जी, आप स्वागत कर रही हैं डीओपीटी श्री मनीषा सक्सेना मैम का। आपसे पुनः अनुरोध है मैम, आदरणीय हम अनुरोध करते हैं संयुक्त सचिव डीओपीटी छवि भारद्वाज जी मैम आपसे कृपया आदरणीय सचिव मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स श्री सीबी जॉर्ज जी का स्वागत करें। आदरणीय अपर सचिव डीएआरपीजी श्री पुनीत यादव जी का स्वागत करें। धन्यवाद मैम। सुशासन दिवस की स्थापना वर्ष 2014 में छवि भारद्वाज मैम से अनुरोध है कृपया आदरणीय अपर सचिव डीओपीटी श्री मनोज कुमार द्विवेदी जी का स्वागत करें। आपसे अनुरोध है मैम, आदरणीय ईओ और अपर सचिव डीओपीटी सुश्री मनीषा सक्सेना जी का स्वागत करें। अच्छी बात है, बार बार स्वागत होना बहुत अच्छी बात है। आदर जितनी बार हो उतना अच्छा है। चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं। सुशासन दिवस की स्थापना वर्ष 2014 में भारत के पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी की जयंती को सम्मानित करने और चिन्हित करने के लिए की गई थी। इस दिवस का उद्देश्य नागरिकों को सुशासन और सरकार की जवाबदेही के प्रति जागरूक करना है। आज सुशासन सप्ताह 2025 में प्रशासनिक सुधार और लोक शिकायत विभाग द्वारा आयोजित वर्कशॉप ऑन गुड गवर्नेंस प्रैक्टिसेस में आप सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों का हार्दिक स्वागत है। देश भर के सभी जिलों, राज्यों, संघ शासित क्षेत्रों में 19 से 25 दिसंबर 2025 तक सुशासन सप्ताह मनाया जा रहा है। आज इस कार्यशाला में देश भर से 1000 से भी अधिक स्थलों से कार्मिक हमारे साथ वर्चुअल मोड पर जुड़े हुए हैं। सर्वप्रथम माननीय मंत्री महोदय जी से हम विनम्र अनुनय करते हैं, कृपया अपने कर कमलों से दीप प्रज्वलित करें। आज का कार्यक्रम शुभ हो, हम सब के लिए मंगलमय हो। इसी कामना के साथ हम पंचदीप प्रज्वलित करते हैं। कोटि से धन्यवाद माननीय मंचासीन गणमान्यों का भी आभार। बहुत बहुत आभार। और आइए अब देखते हैं बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस एंड आउटकम्स ऑफ स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 पर एक लघु फिल्म।
दशकों पुरानी फाइलों और स्क्रैप को हटाने के लिए एक विशेष स्वच्छता अभियान चलाया गया। इस सरकारी विभागों में इस अभियान के अद्भुत परिणाम सामने आए हैं।
सरकारी कार्यालयों में व्यापक स्वच्छता और ई कचरे के निपटान के लिए चलाया गया विशेष अभियान 5.0 भारत सरकार का सबसे बड़ा वार्षिक स्वच्छता और प्रशासनिक सुधार अभियान बना। जिसमें DARPG के नेतृत्व में 84 मंत्रालय और विभाग एक साथ जुड़े। इस अभियान की शुरुआत माननीय मंत्री डॉक्टर जितेंद्र सिंह द्वारा की गई, जिसके बाद पूरे देश में 1 महीने तक संगठित प्रयास चलते रहे। इस दौरान केंद्रीय मंत्रियों द्वारा विभिन्न मंत्रालयों और विभागों का निरीक्षण किया गया। विशेष अभियान 5.0 के दौरान देश भर में रोजाना रिकॉर्ड रूम साफ हुए और बड़े पैमाने पर कबाड़ का निपटारा हुआ। 2021 से चलाए जा रहे विशेष अभियान की उपलब्धियों ने साल दर साल नया रिकॉर्ड बनाया है। इसके तहत अब तक लाखों फाइलों की समीक्षा और निपटान हुआ। भारी मात्रा में स्थान को साफ और खाली कराया गया। इसके साथ ही कबाड़ के निपटान से रिकॉर्ड राजस्व हासिल हुआ। 2 अक्टूबर से 31 अक्टूबर तक चलाए गए विशेष अभियान 5.0 के तहत विभिन्न मंत्रालयों द्वारा करीब 11,60,000 स्थानों को कवर किया गया। इस दौरान कार्यालय उपयोग के लिए 233.75 लाख वर्ग फुट जगह को खाली कराया गया और 29.52 लाख से ज्यादा फाइलों को बंद किया गया। वहीं कबाड़ के निपटान से 833.92 करोड़ रुपए का राजस्व अर्जित किया गया, जो चंद्रयान मिशन 3 पर खर्च की गई राशि से अधिक है। विशेष अभियान 5.0 के दौरान विभिन्न मंत्रालयों और विभागों ने उत्कृष्ट नवाचार प्रणाली को अपनाया, जिससे यह अभियान अब तक का सबसे सफल अभियान बन गया। स्कूली शिक्षा और साक्षरता विभाग ने पूरे देश में 6 लाख से अधिक स्थानों पर विशाल स्वच्छता अभियान चलाया। वहीं भारतीय रेल में नवाचार के तहत अमृत भारत ट्रेनों की सफाई ड्रोन द्वारा कराई जा रही है। रेलवे ने वेस्ट टू वेल्थ का शानदार उदाहरण प्रस्तुत करते हुए घोड़े की मूर्ति और मेक इन इंडिया लोगो तैयार किया, जो पूरी तरह स्क्रैप से बनाया गया। डाक विभाग ने डाक चौपाल के माध्यम से समुदायों को जोड़ा और बैरकपुर SBCO सहित कई अन्य डाक कार्यालयों का आधुनिकीकरण भी किया। इसी तरह कृषि और किसान कल्याण विभाग ने ई कचरे से प्राप्त सामग्री का उपयोग करके अनेक उपकरणों और मशीनों के कई शानदार मॉडल बनाए, जिनमें ड्रोन, ट्रैक्टर और कल्टीवेटर शामिल है। ऐसे ही कोल इंडिया लिमिटेड ने कंपनी के शुभंकर अंगारा के माध्यम से बेहद रचनात्मक तरीके से वेस्ट टू वेल्थ आइडिया को मूर्त रूप दिया, जो पूरी तरह स्क्रैप मेटल से बनाया गया।
माननीय प्रधानमंत्री का जो विजन है स्पेशल कैंपेन या स्वच्छता कैंपेन, उसके लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। विश्व भर में हमारी बहुत सारी एम्बेसीज है, कॉन्सुलेट्स है, उनके द्वारा हमने ये अभियान बहुत जोर से चलाया।
इस पूरे कैंपेन पे इस पे बल है कि आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा स्क्रैप डिस्पोजल करें, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अपने ऑफिस के, अपने वर्कशॉप के, अपने कार्य क्षेत्र की जगहों को फ्री करें।
In Department of School Education and Literacy, we focused on 2 aspects under Special Campaign 5.0. 1. Swachhata and 2. Sustainability.
विशेष अभियान सिर्फ भारत में नहीं बल्कि देश के बाहर भी सफलतापूर्वक चलाया गया। विशेष अभियान के दौरान रियल टाइम मॉनिटरिंग, विभिन्न मंत्रालयों से तालमेल, सोशल मीडिया और टीवी पर पैनल चर्चाएं लगातार चलती रहीं। साथ ही इसकी प्रगति की निगरानी एक समर्पित पोर्टल scdpm.nic.in पर भी की गई। इन तमाम प्रयासों का नतीजा ही है कि विशेष अभियान अब सिर्फ 1 महीने की गतिविधि नहीं बल्कि स्वच्छता के प्रति स्थायी सकारात्मक बदलाव का प्रतीक बन चुका है।
अब 5 वर्ष जब मुकम्मल हुए 21, 22, 23, 24 और 25, तो ध्यान में आता है कि जो डिस्पोजल था उसको मार्केट में फरोख्त करने से ही महज हमें 4100 करोड़ पैसा जमा करवा दिया गया, जिससे एक बहुत बड़ा स्पेस का, अंतरिक्ष का मिशन कामयाब हो सकता है। बहुत सारे ऐसे कॉरिडोर्स रहे हैं जो चोक्ड रहा करते थे जंक के साथ, उन्हें जब वेकेट किया गया तो इस साल भी लगभग 232 लाख स्क्वायर फीट से ज्यादा स्पेस वेकेट हुई है।
और अब आदरणीय सचिव कार्मिक लोक शिकायत तथा पेंशन मंत्रालय सुश्री रचना शाह जी से हमारा अनुरोध है, कृपया स्वागत संबोधन दें।
Honorable Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievance and Pensions, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji. my esteemed colleagues, Ms. Vandita Kaul, Secretary, Department of Post, Mr. Umashankar, Secretary, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Shri C.V. George, Secretary West, Ministry of External Affairs, Mr. Sudhansh Pant, Secretary, Social Justice and Empowerment, my esteemed colleagues, senior officials, and friends. It gives me immense pleasure, and it's my privilege to welcome you all to this national workshop on good governance practices, which is being organized on Good Governance Day. As we are all aware, this day commemorates the legacy and the vision of the former Prime Minister of India, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, who firmly believed that governance must be efficient, must be transparent, and humane. As part of the Good Governance Week, we have also been observing the nationwide campaign Prashasan Gaon Ki Or from 19th of December till today. And this week-long campaign being conducted throughout the length and breadth of the country, and in which the leadership by districts and by the state governments has been taken, focuses on redressal of grievances, on strengthening service delivery and documentation of best practices, and ensuring that governance reaches the doorstep of the citizens. Prashasan Gaon Ki Or campaign has covered more than 700 districts. 40,000 camps have been organized, and approximately 2.5 crore service delivery applications have been processed and resolved, and 35 lakh grievances have also been resolved. We are joined today through the virtual link by districts, by district collectors, and I'd like to congratulate them for their exemplary work. It's also extremely satisfying for me to mention that the Special Campaign 5.0, which was implemented from October 2nd to 31st this year by all ministries and departments, has also brought to light our collective commitment towards administrative efficiency and towards making governance citizen-centric. This campaign, which started in 2021, began with a simple idea of addressing pendency, of institutionalizing cleanliness and efficiency. But over the period of 5 years, this has evolved into a nationwide governance movement. Here, I'd like to express our gratitude and appreciation to the Honorable Minister for his continued guidance and for his leadership and his emphasis on execution, on institutional reform, on measurable outcomes that have given this campaign direction and momentum. While in the film, we have seen some of the achievements and the numbers that have been shared, I would only like to say that this initiative has indeed been transformational. As was mentioned, in these 5 years, we've been able to weed out or close to 167 lakh files. Over 930 lakh square feet of office space has been vacated for productive use, and 4,100 crore rupees have been generated through disposal of scrap. These figures, these are not just figures, they also reflect a change in the mindset, a move from pendency to resolution, from routine compliance to outcome-driven governance. I'd like to appreciate and congratulate all the nodal officers and all the secretaries, of course, who are here, who have been at the forefront of this campaign, their field officers, and Team DARPG for their relentless efforts, which have succeeded in making this special campaign such a landmark reform initiative. Today's program marks an important milestone in this journey with the release of the assessment report of the campaign and screening of the film, which captures the scale, the diversity, and the spirit of the campaign. We also look forward to listening to some of the best practices from leaders and captains from Department of Post, from Ministry of Road Transport, MEA, NIC, and Railways. As part of the Good Governance Week, the Department of Pensions organized the 15th Pension Adalat yesterday. The Pension Adalat initiative brings together all stakeholders on one platform with the objective of resolving pension grievances, and empowering the pensioners. In these 15 adalats that have been so far organized, close to 28,000 grievances have been taken up, and 70% of them have been resolved successfully, and the rest of them are also being followed up. This initiative also underscores the importance of accessible, responsive, and humane governance system. Today is also a day for us to reflect on the nature of governance, which is evolving every day, and the need to adopt, to adapt, reinvent, and continuously innovate. Guided by the vision of the Prime Minister, minimum government and maximum governance, the Department of Personnel and Training is today launching 5 important initiatives which will strengthen our governance system and directly benefit stakeholders across government and society. These initiatives aim to make our system more transparent, technology-driven, and citizen-centric. I'll conclude by saying that good governance is a continuous effort. It's a commitment that we need to integrate and internalize in our daily working, in our systems, to make them transparent, accountable, accessible, and efficient. With these words, I once again welcome you all and look forward to fruitful deliberations during the workshop. Thank you.
थैंक यू मैम। माननीय राज्य मंत्री जी के मार्गदर्शन में दूरदर्शी प्रशासनिक सुधारों का क्रम निरंतर चल रहा है और विभाग सुशासन को चरितार्थ करते हुए नागरिकों के लिए बेहतर सुविधाएं और सुगम्य प्रशासनिक सरलीकरण की दिशा में सतत कार्य कर रहा है। इसी क्रम में हमारा विनम्र अनुनय है माननीय मंत्री महोदय जी आपसे, कृपया अपने कर कमलों से असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट ऑफ स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 पुस्तिका का विमोचन करें। सर सबसे ऊपर वाली है। स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 पर पुस्तिका का विमोचन माननीय मंत्री महोदय जी के कर कमलों से। माननीय कृपया इसी पुस्तिका का ऑनलाइन विमोचन भी करें रिमोट का बटन दबाकर। ये अभियान 2 अक्टूबर से 31 अक्टूबर 2025 तक संचालित किया गया था और इसमें 84 मंत्रालयों विभागों ने भाग लिया। माननीय रिजर्वेशन फॉर एक्स सर्विसमैन कंपेंडियम का भी विमोचन करें अपने कर कमलों से। कोटि से धन्यवाद माननीय। आइए अब देखते हैं इस कंपेंडियम की वीडियो क्लिप।
भारत की सुरक्षा केवल एक जिम्मेदारी नहीं बल्कि जीवन का संकल्प है। जो वर्दी में देश की रक्षा करते हैं वे हमारे एक्स सर्विसमैन साहस, बलिदान और निस्वार्थ सेवा की जीवंत पहचान है। सेवा काल के बाद जब ये वीर नागरिक जीवन में कदम रखते हैं तब उनका सम्मान, सुरक्षा और सशक्तिकरण सरकार की सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता बनता है। भारत सरकार एक्स सर्विसमैन को सर्वोच्च सम्मान देती है और उनके स्मूथ ट्रांजिशन के लिए निरंतर प्रभावी कदम उठाती रही है। इसी दिशा में एक महत्वपूर्ण पहल है एक्स सर्विसमैन के लिए दिशा निर्देशों का समेकित संकलन, कंपेंडियम ऑफ गाइडलाइंस। ये कंपेंडियम एक वन स्टॉप रेफरेंस डॉक्यूमेंट है जहां एक्स सर्विसमैन को उनके अधिकारों, सुविधाओं और अवसरों से जुड़ी समस्त जानकारी एक ही स्थान पर उपलब्ध होती है। ये दस्तावेज मंत्रालयों और विभागों, लाइजन अधिकारियों, भर्ती एजेंसियों को आरक्षण नीतियों के निष्पक्ष, समान और प्रभावी क्रियान्वयन में मार्गदर्शन प्रदान करता है। इस कंपेंडियम में शामिल हैं ग्रुप सी और ग्रुप डी पदों में आरक्षण की विस्तृत जानकारी, सेंट्रल आर्म्ड पुलिस फोर्सेस में असिस्टेंट कमांडेंट स्तर तक की पात्रता, आयु में छूट, रिक्तियों की सूचना की प्रक्रिया और चयन मानकों में उपलब्ध रियायतें। साथ ही यह एक्स सर्विसमैन को री एम्प्लॉयमेंट से जुड़े अधिकारों, रियायतों और प्रक्रियाओं को स्पष्ट रूप से समझने में सक्षम बनाता है। ये संकलन केवल एक दस्तावेज नहीं, बल्कि भारत सरकार की ओर से अपने एक्स सर्विसमैन के प्रति सम्मान, प्रतिबद्धता और कृतज्ञता का प्रतीक है।
माननीय पुनः अनुरोध है, कृपया अपने कर कमलों से AI पावर्ड रिक्रूटमेंट रूल्स जनरेटर टूल का शुभारंभ करें, रिमोट का बटन दबाकर।
भारत सरकार में हर भर्ती और नियुक्ति एक तय और साफ सुथरी प्रक्रिया से होती है। इस पूरी प्रक्रिया की नींव होती है रिक्रूटमेंट रूल्स, यानी भर्ती के नियम। हर मंत्रालय अपने पदों के लिए ये रूल्स बनाता है। साल 2016 में सरकार ने शुरू किया रिक्रूटमेंट रूल्स फॉर्मुलेशन मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम, जिससे कागजी काम खत्म हुआ और पूरी प्रक्रिया डिजिटल हो। गहर रिक्रूटमेंट रूल के दो अहम हिस्से होते हैं, एक नोटिफिकेशन और दूसरा 13 कॉलम शेड्यूल। इस शेड्यूल में पद का नाम, पदों की संख्या, भर्ती का तरीका क्या है, कितनी वैकेंसीज है, भर्ती कैसे होगी और कौन सी क्वालिफिकेशन चाहिए, ये पूरा शेड्यूल DOPT गाइडलाइंस के अनुसार तैयार किया जाता है। अब इस प्रक्रिया को और तेज और स्मार्ट बनाने के लिए सरकार लेकर आई है एक नई पहल, AI पावर्ड रिक्रूटमेंट रूल्स जनरेटर। ये सिस्टम मौजूदा रूल्स और गाइडलाइंस के आधार पर मंत्रालयों को एक एक्सपर्ट एडवाइजर की तरह गाइड करता है। इससे मिनिस्ट्रीज को मदद मिलती है स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मेट में शेड्यूल बनाने में, DOPT गाइडलाइन कंप्लायंस सुनिश्चित करने में और रिक्रूटमेंट रूल्स को कम समय में नोटिफाई करने में। नतीजा, तेज अप्रूवल्स, ज्यादा ट्रांसपेरेंसी और एक मॉडर्न रिक्रूटमेंट सिस्टम। एक ऐसी व्यवस्था जो पब्लिक सर्विस को मजबूत बनाती है और गुड गवर्नेंस को आगे बढ़ाती है।
माननीय पुनः अनुरोध है, कृपया मोबाइल ऐप फॉर EHRMS 2.0 सुविधा का लोकार्पण करें, रिमोट का बटन दबाकर।
नमस्ते। भारत सरकार के वन नेशन वन HR पोर्टल के विजन को आगे बढ़ाते हुए EHRMS 2.0 का मोबाइल ऐप तैयार किया गया है। यह ऐप एंड्रॉयड और iOS दोनों प्लेटफॉर्म पर उपलब्ध है। EHRMS 2.0 प्रशासनिक कार्यों को सरल बनाता है और पारदर्शिता को बढ़ाता है। यह ऐप भारत सरकार के ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम को पूरी तरह डिजिटल बनाता है। अब सभी HR सेवाओं का लाभ मोबाइल फोन के माध्यम से लिया जा सकता है। लीव के आवेदन से लेकर रियम्बर्समेंट क्लेम मोबाइल ऐप द्वारा अप्लाई या अप्रूव किया जा सकता है। ऑफिशियल टूर की जानकारी या डिजिटल सर्विस रिकॉर्ड, सब कुछ केवल एक क्लिक में मोबाइल फोन पर उपलब्ध है। EHRMS 2.0 मोबाइल ऐप के माध्यम से आवेदक अपने आवेदन की स्थिति को रियल टाइम में ट्रैक कर सकते हैं तथा अप्रूवल या रिजेक्शन का कारण भी जान सकते हैं। यदि किसी यूजर्स के मन में कोई प्रश्न है तो वह AI एजेंट आस्क EHRMS बॉट की सहायता ले सकता है। EHRMS 2.0 का मोबाइल ऐप केवल एक टूल नहीं है, बल्कि सरकारी कार्यप्रणाली में गति और पारदर्शिता लाने की दिशा में एक बड़ा कदम है। आइए मिलकर सुशासन के भविष्य का निर्माण करें। किसी भी सहायता के लिए हमारे हेल्पलाइन नंबर पर संपर्क करें या स्क्रीन पर दिख रही ईमेल एड्रेस पर मेल करें।
न्यू फीचर्स ऑन आई गॉट कर्मयोगी पोर्टल। माननीय कृपया इस सुविधा का भी शुभारंभ करें, रिमोट का बटन दबाकर।
कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग को अधिक रोल आधारित, व्यक्तिगत और गवर्नेंस की बदलती जरूरतों के अनुरूप बनाने के लिए iGOT प्लेटफॉर्म पर आज 4 नए फीचर्स जोड़े जा रहे हैं। AI सारथी iGOT पर उपलब्ध सभी लर्निंग रिसोर्सेज जैसे कोर्सेस, वेबिनार्स, केस स्टडीज आदि में सटीक और गहरी खोज कर लर्नर द्वारा चाही गई जानकारी पर प्रासंगिक लर्निंग रिसोर्सेज चिन्हित कर उपलब्ध कराता है। iGOT AI ट्यूटर हमारे व्यक्तिगत ट्यूटर जैसा है, जो किसी भी कोर्स पर आधारित हमारे जटिल से जटिल प्रश्नों का उदाहरणों के साथ सरलता से उत्तर देता है। AICBP टूल केंद्र और राज्य सरकारों के विभागों और संस्थाओं के लिए कम समय में कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग प्लान्स बनाता है। सरकारी दस्तावेजों से रोल और कॉम्पिटेंसी पहचानता है और उनसे संबंधित कोर्सेज को चिन्हित कर संस्था में हर रोल के लिए एक उचित लर्निंग प्लान बनाता है। सरकारी कर्मियों को फ्यूचर रेडी कर्मयोगी बनाने की राह में एक और कदम है iGOT स्पेशलाइजेशंस। आज हम डिजिटल हेल्थ, प्रधानमंत्री गति शक्ति, AI, पब्लिक पॉलिसी, साइबर सिक्योरिटी और पब्लिक लीडरशिप विषयों पर iGOT स्पेशलाइजेशन प्रोग्राम्स लॉन्च कर रहे हैं। आइए इन नए विचारों के साथ एक सक्षम, दक्ष और नागरिक केंद्रित सुशासन का निर्माण करें।
माननीय पुनः अनुरोध है, कृपया अपने करकमलों द्वारा कर्मयोगी डिजिटल लर्निंग लैब 2.0 सुविधा का लोकार्पण करें। रिमोट का बटन दबाकर।
मिशन कर्मयोगी, नेशनल प्रोग्राम फॉर सिविल सर्विसेज कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की विकसित भारत विजन का महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ है। मिशन कर्मयोगी के तहत कार्मिक एवं प्रशिक्षण विभाग ने वर्ष 2021 में ISTM में कर्मयोगी डिजिटल लर्निंग लैब की स्थापना की। पहले चरण में KDLL iGOT कर्मयोगी प्लेटफॉर्म पर वीडियो आधारित प्रशिक्षण का केंद्र बना और 75 से अधिक घंटों का कंटेंट विकसित करके विभिन्न मंत्रालयों को सहयोग दिया। दूसरे चरण के अंतर्गत KDLL को इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी, AR एवं VR आदि के उपयोग से एक स्टेट ऑफ आर्ट डिजिटल लर्निंग लैब एवं एक्सपीरियंस सेंटर के रूप में विकसित किया जा रहा है। इसके अंतर्गत 100 से अधिक घंटे के उच्च गुणवत्ता वाले डोमेन कॉम्पिटेंसी कंटेंट का निर्माण किया जा रहा है, जिसमें AI आधारित कंटेंट क्यूरेशन और गेमिफाइड कंटेंट भी शामिल है। साथ ही यहाँ इमर्सिव 3D लैब, स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो, सुरक्षित सर्वर रूम और रियल टाइम डेटा विजुअलाइजेशन डिजिटल प्रशिक्षण में नवाचार को अपना आधार बनाएंगे। KDLL 2.0 भविष्य की सीख आज से शुरू। सिविल सेवा को ज्ञान, कौशल और नवाचार से जोड़ने का अगला बड़ा कदम।
माननीय पुनः अनुरोध है, कृपया एनुअल रिपोर्ट ऑफ CP ग्राम्स पुस्तिका का विमोचन करें। माननीय, कृपया इसी पुस्तिका का ऑनलाइन विमोचन भी करें, रिमोट का बटन दबाकर। कोटिशः धन्यवाद माननीय। इन सभी नवाचारों के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं। परम माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के सुशासन के संकल्प को सार्थक करने के लिए पूर्णतः समर्पित माननीय राज्य मंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में दूरदर्शी प्रशासनिक सुधारों का क्रम निरंतर चल रहा है। माननीय, आपसे विनम्र अनुनय है, हम सबको संबोधित कर हमारा मनोबल बढ़ाएं, हमारा मार्गदर्शन करें। माननीय राज्य मंत्री महोदय, आप सबकी तालियों के साथ।
Secretary DOPT and DARPG, Government of India, Mrs. Rachna Shah, Madam Vandita Kaul, Shri Pant, Sudhanshu Pant ji, Shri Uma Shankar ji, Mr. Sibi George, Shri Manoj Dwivedi, Puneet Yadav ji, senior officers from the Department of Personal Training, Department of Administrative Reforms, also senior officers and representatives of different other departments of Government of India. At the outset, I have to apologize to you because on a holiday you had to spare time to be here. But while all this was going on, I could see that Madam Rachna Shah was smart enough to ensure that lest you forget that this is a Christmas day, she's come out like a Santa Claus and given you a bouquet of 5 digital launchings and 3 book launches. You might have forgotten, but not I, because I was the one who had to do standing and sitting each time. So I stood up 5 times for that and 3 times for that. But nevertheless, thanks, ma'am, and thanks for having very diligently undertaken this task, despite this being a holiday. Now, 25th of December also happens to be the birth anniversary of our beloved Prime Minister, late Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, and we have been since observing this every year as a Good Governance Day, because it was Vajpayee ji who gave us the concept of good governance and coined this term, in fact, for a popular official use. But I have no hesitation to say that it was after 2014 that the concept and the spirit of good governance actually was followed in letter and spirit. And one of the first statements that Prime Minister Modi made when he was addressing many of us was the mantra of maximum governance and minimum government, which Secretary DOPT was also mentioning. And of course, to my mind, when we say that, it would, in a nutshell or a single sentence, mean that government would be the facilitator of a governance which is citizen-centric, self-centric, not self-centric in the sense of being selfish, but you can govern yourself and you can be master of your own destiny. And I think the first indication of this came when soon after the government took over, precisely on the 26th of May 2014, one of the first decisions, major decisions, was taken by the Department of Personnel and Training, that was of abolishing the tradition of that dubious legacy of British Empire, the attestation of the gazetted by the gazetted officer or some other authorized authority of your documents. And that was how a message was sent out that now there was a government and a new Prime Minister who had the courage of conviction and the confidence to trust the citizen of this country. And that precisely is the pathway leading to maximum governance. Then soon after that, on the Independence Day, Prime Minister announced from the ramparts of Red Fort that he was in favor of abolishing the convention of conducting interviews for selection, because most of the complaints happened on that account. And again, I must compliment the Department of Personnel Training. An exercise was undertaken, and within 3 months they accomplished this. On the 1st of January, precisely 2016, the circular was issued, doing away with the practice of. And when we talk of minimum government, let's not forget that it has been followed in letter and spirit also by not creating too many new rules and by doing away many of such rules which had become obsolete with the passage of time and lost their relevance, which were also meant to cater to a colonial rule or a colonial empire. And therefore, so far, more than 1,600 rules have been done away. In various departments, some of them have given me personal satisfaction also. Being a medical professional, like for example, very recently we came out with the provision of maternity leave being extended even to the mothers who gave birth to a still child. Because earlier on, because of the conventional thinking, the orthodox thinking, the entitlement of such leave was available only when a child was born without, and we very conveniently forgot that the mother who had given birth to a child, regardless of whether the child was live or not, had to undergo the same physiology and the same uterus devolution and evolution happening. So she required a similar kind of relief even for her well-being, health-wise as well. Similarly, some of the best practices over the years have gained global acceptance and global acknowledgement. We are regularly getting, the Department of ARPG is regularly receiving delegations from different countries who come here to study some of our success stories, success models, like, for example, CP grams, which was being referred to in one of the films, is come out to be one of the very widely emulated practices. The disposal rate of almost 95 to 100% every week. And we have also learned from this experience, tried to create a model, because when I just told Mr. Srinivas that our disposal is 100%, but nobody is happy. So he looked back and said, what does that implicate? I said, that's because in the West they have started talking of something called happiness index. So last year we also introduced a humanness. So after the disposal of each complaint, which happens online, which happens very promptly, and which happens, but does not necessarily satisfy the complainant, because he feels that once he's filed a complaint, it would address also his aspiration. But no two words in English language mean the same. So the disposal is done, but the person is not happy. Now, if I say, why am I not the Secretary Government of India? The response would be that I could not qualify IAS, or I chose another path for me, but that doesn't satisfy me. I think nevertheless, I am more competent than anyone else. So we have created a hybrid model, which was also speaking in the health department. I said in the artificial telemedicine, where we use AI, they also have started using the same hybrid model in my constituency. So we have created some models which have others also an experience with these new technologies happening. Then similarly, in the digital life certificate, also we were among the first in the government to use face recognition technology to generate a digital certificate. And first, possibly also because earlier on, this technology was mostly used by the crime world for wrong reasons. We used it for good reasons. Similarly, the entire format of the PM Excellence Award was changed by the same department, because earlier on it was individualized. So you awarded collectors every year, and then suddenly somebody would point out, because we are guided by so many other extraneous reasons also, somebody would point out, look at, you haven't given an award to anybody from Punjab for the last 2 years. Then I would start looking for a collector from Punjab, and then I would realize, oh, A also got it, B also got it, C also got it. Who has not got it? X, Y, Z. So it's more by exclusion or default rather happening. So now that you are the flagship programs, online competition, we have almost 100% participation of all the districts. And the award is given to the best performing district. Of course, the recipient is the DM. So in a way, we have tried to also reorient ourselves to the contemporary times and the contemporary priorities. The Pension Adalat, which Madam Rachana Shah was mentioning, it was also started by this government. Somehow I could not make it yesterday. Incidentally, the aviation secretary is not here. Otherwise, I had a reason to complain to him because the flight was too late for me to reach there. But nevertheless, this was started and the results are very miraculous. Particularly, it gives me a certain amount of satisfaction when we have released one of these manuals related to ex-servicemen, because a lot of pension problems, and I was amazed that on the one hand, we worship and we are so indebted to our ex-servicemen, but most of the family pension cases got complicated and delayed in the ex-servicemen, also because of the reason that they were posted at different places, and their pension levels are also different. And one of those case studies which we have published in that manual has that story of Konika. I think Konika, that lady who got her pension arrears of 25 lakhs after 20 years. So you can understand how much the devaluation of the money would have happened. Similarly, the pension workshops also, like as being contained in this manual, one of these launches for the ex-servicemen, we also started regular pension workshops because many of the friends who retire at the age of 60 are at the prime of their expertise, experience, and you can't just leave them to sit idle. And many of them are not ready to sit idle. They come back to you as RTI activists because they know very well the ins and outs of the department from where they have retired. So in order to put and channelize their energies for a more constructive manner in the task of national building, we also now engage them. Similarly, as I said, many of the rules have been done away, like for example, in keeping with the times, one of the rules which found very flattering editorials across the country, most of the leading newspapers, was when we did away with the family pension being prohibited to divorced daughters unless they got a judgment from the court. So in these times and years when you have so many such cases and the cases remain pending for decades together, you can't be that inhuman. So we allowed the writ petition receipt as the evidence. And of course, this Swachhata was a new experience for all of us, which Madam Rachna Shah has narrated in detail. We started off simply by clearing of files in the North Block in 2014. We didn't know where we were heading for. Then we learned that there were rooms choked with tables with one leg, chair with half a leg. Because secretary साहब का computer खराब हो गया, तो immediately the boy would run and replace the computer, or the ministers. So nobody would then bother where the discarded one has gone. So it was just left to choke a corridor, and we had so many of choked corridors, including, you'll be surprised, even in South Block. So, and it gave me personal satisfaction that many of those choked blocks had a lot of books, some of the classic books which had gone unread, being presented to different ministers. So I have a good collection from this cleaning. Some of them very interesting books also. So, and then somewhere in 2021, when we discovered that there were here some outlets which were eager to receive our junk, particularly the electronic junk, because they were doing all the, repackaging and assembling. And we tried there. So first year we made about 12 crore. We didn't believe ourselves. And then many of the women officials started coming to us. Please tell us, children, boys, girls have left their mobiles discarded, where to sell them? So I said, so I would refer them conveniently to Mr. Srinivas, because I didn't know how holy was the place where this sale was being done. And this year we have now cumulative done 4,100 crore, more than that, which I said is not only it's equivalent to almost 7 Chandrayaan being launched. And besides that, a mall can be brought up there with so much of space that has been vacated over the years, about 930 lakh square foot. And every year we were learning from our experience. So as she rightly mentioned, Ms. Shah, that has given us a behavioral change, mindset change. And it also, this year, because I was also dealing with technology, I said, why not also, just as we are generating money from this electronic junk, let's also convert it to waste to wealth. So we actually have tried this year doing that. We have started collecting cooked oil from housewives, converting into oil, biofuel. Similarly, we also started collecting some of the junk from the hospitals and then converting into an inert material which could be used for making of plastic, paper, etc. So likewise, I think it's been a great learning experience as well. And today, and similarly, the other wings which are associated or affiliated with the ministry, like for example, Labasana has undergone a whole change, beginning from their usual dress code to also curriculum. They have become more forthright, because the first time when I went, I found that the closest to them was the Forest Academy, but no two had never visited each other. So I said that now I'm glad we have exchange programs. Now we have also extended the outreach to the Army Academy. So the officers from there also join us. Similarly, the other wing, the IIPA has been totally reinvented. We have a whole lot of different size boardrooms. And I would welcome the other departments also to make best use of it. The Capacity Building Commission is already doing it. We have also a good communication cell over there with a studio actually in place, which is very rarely available in any of the departments. So it's because DOPT actually, if we talk of whole of government, DOPT is the department responsible for ensuring that approach, a nodal department. So unfortunately, it was otherwise known as a prosecution department. So P stood for that. So first time when I came into this department, honestly speaking, you would be surprised, I didn't know what is DOPT meant for, because I had nothing to do with the government circles. So I came from a different world. So when the first time when a joint secretary came to show me the way, pick me up, I said, first tell me what is DOPT. So she said, Department of Personnel and Training. I said, what is it mandated? And what do I have to do there? So she said, everybody coming to you will be with a long face. And every officer would also have a long face. Because anybody who comes visiting has some service matters pending. And every officer sitting there is waiting for a transfer. So I'm glad now it's no longer so. Our ARPG department has become so visible that Mr. Srinivas became familiar, especially the Prashasan Gaon ki or, and the outreach program. We also started having governance conferences. I said we should move out of Vigyan Bhavan. We started holding it in different states. And in the real sense, if we went to Northeast, we went to Itanagar. We just didn't go to Guwahati and come back. So we've gone to every state. And as a result, the ARPG secretary is now known to all the chief secretaries in different states. So I think that whole of government, which Prime Minister Modi keeps reiterating, is something which is also being performed by this. And Mission Karma Yogi is another new orientation, keeping in mind the new tools available, because you can overnight prepare yourself for the new assignment. You don't have to pretend to be so. Like I always say, when you become a health secretary, you pretend like writing a prescription better than a doctor, because you've been chose to impose the writ of authority, rightly so. But here you'll actually have the confidence. You might actually start writing a prescription, because the Karma Yogi prepares you for your new. And there also, we kept moving to the next level. Mission Karma Yogi, Prarambha, and so on and so forth. We are now also creating models for the elected representatives, the local body representatives. I requested the CBC to give it a model for the ministers also, because we are as unfamiliar with these new tasks as many others. So with that, I think in continuation of that, these launches are happening today, which is actually not something absolutely new, but it is the graduating to the new tools available now, like the AI-driven tools. We already had recruitment rules, repositories now being converted into a modern gadget for the ease of work, and also some digital learning content. And I think many of the reforms have happened because we have learned from earlier reforms. So when you are deeply involved into it with a passion, you also get to know where more to which direction to move further. And therefore, I must compliment the Ministry of Personnel, the DOPT, DRPG, for the kind of very cohesive teamwork that has happened over the years. And Good Governance Day is also an occasion where you actually sum up what you've been doing over the last several years, where you next want to go, and what you would be looking back at when you observe the same day next year in 2026. So thank you very much and Merry Christmas.
कोटि से धन्यवाद माननीय आपके संबोधन के लिए। आपकी प्रेरणा से विभाग सर्वजन हिताय सर्वजन सुखाय के एक बड़े संकल्प की पूर्ति करने की दिशा में सक्रियता से अग्रसर है। अब हम सचिव महोदया जी से अनुरोध करते हैं, कृपया माननीय मंत्री महोदय जी को स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। धन्यवाद। कोटि से धन्यवाद माननीय मंत्री महोदय जी पधारने के लिए। मंचासीन सभी गणमान्यों का हम हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करते हैं। और अब हम आज की कार्यशाला के सत्रों को आरंभ करते हैं। स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 इस विषय पर अपने विचार प्रकट करने के लिए हम आदरणीय सचिव डाक विभाग सुश्री वंदिता कौल जी को मंच पर आमंत्रित करते हैं। आप सबकी तालियों के साथ श्रीमती वंदिता कौल जी।
नमस्कार। आप सबको Merry Christmas and Happy New Year while I'm opening this. How's it working? Yep. From here? Why have they opened this? Yeah, this is not required. Sorry. Yeah. So, firstly, I'll just explain what the real role of Post is. Post, with the network of 1.65 lakh post offices and 4.7 lakh employees, is connecting people and is also spreading messages. And such important campaigns as this special campaign deserve a special attention by the Department of Post. So while we went up to 1 lakh sites, campaign sites, by special campaign 4.0, I'm happy to say that we did 1.3 lakh sites that is post office locations, and that covers practically the entire country. So we are able to reach every village, and that is our strength, our USP. Because of our universal service obligation, we get to every city, every town, every village, and every citizen. So we do partner with various central government ministries, departments, entities, and state government bodies. And we try to deliver as much of the important messages to the people of the country. So, of course, weeding of files is coming down now naturally. So we have weeded out 17,352 files because we are moving largely towards e-files. Of course, down in the field units, we are still working on getting the e-file more popular. In the center, of course, it's almost 100% now. Space freeing also, if we see across the number of years, because a lot of effort went into freeing space, now the space freed is lower. So we have focused more on, the public grievance part of it. And if we look at the disposal of public grievances, we are probably among the best in terms of disposal. But as the Honorable Minister pointed out, there is a need to improve the quality of disposal, and that's where our focus is. And our connect with the people has improved through our new CRM, Customer Satisfaction 2.0. In our IT project, we have improved the way we connect with people, the way we go back to them after we have closed a grievance to check if they are, we don't close it finally till we are clear that the person is satisfied. And if they are not, we try to again satisfy them. And it's a very granular process. It's across the country and everybody is fine-tuned to do this work. So that's where we are focusing now on quality. And the same goes for appeals and other important references. As you can see, the PMO references, just one was there, we cleared it. So it's anyway through the year. Now, there are all kinds of sites. Oh, they put one of me sweeping also. So while this is symbolic, what we do, it's necessary to participate and actually, raise some dust. And so you can see the dilapidated condition of some of the old buildings. We have a very big setup, so some buildings were abandoned and they have been set up again, cleaned up, and it looks very sad what kind of building we had before, but these were not in use. So now we are using spaces which weren't there before. That's another way of utilizing our assets. And this is a very simple place. This is where our male motor service drivers stayed. So they didn't have a very good space. Just one example. So we try to make it comfortable for our people down on the ground. It's not fancy, it's basic, but we get the cleanliness done and people are comfortable. So you can see one hall. So like this, there are many other buildings. Now I'll come to one very special feature of Post, which is the dark chopals. So during the special campaign 5.0, we used the dark chopal events to spread the message of cleanliness and of integrity, in fact, and in daily life. So while we have dark chopals throughout the year, here there was a special focus. So there were 6,000 events just during the campaign period, and 1.7 lakh, 79 lakh people attended, 45% attendance of women. And during the Chopal, as usual, and a little more focus, we focus on the inclusion part. But for us, it's very important to continue the inclusion piece. So because we do savings accounts and Sukanya for the girls, and India Post Payments Bank is a very important player in the inclusion piece. And other than that, we do a lot of work for government. So Aadhaar enrollments and updates. The children Aadhaar is done by India Post Payments Bank. So when they come in, their time is very valuable in the village. They have to leave the field or whatever work they do, leave their shop and come for the campaign. So we generally collaborate with the state governments. We'll have SHGs coming in. And that becomes a very nice community atmosphere. That really helps to spread any message that we wish to spread, while also helping to open accounts and do transactions. So these are some views of the events, and a lot of women participate here, as I had said. So you can see all over the country, these are held, and these were specially held in this period. All kinds of services, financial, insurance, citizen-centric, other than our basic mail and parcel services which are there. We also have Dak Ghar Niryat Kendra, so the message that the small entrepreneurs and women SHGs and other SHGs can export things, and we help them on behalf of the Ministry of External Affairs. Even passport centers we run. So all that messaging also goes. More pictures, lots of pictures. There's a lot of wall art, because part of cleanliness is wall art, as we see even in cities. So this is locally done. The staff does it. They are very enthusiastic. It's a lovely thing to do that. And sometimes students come in. So all these very simple but very inclusive events. And we've also, in this context, just to mention, we have these Gen Z post offices coming up. I think we are calling them N-Gen now. Any of the generations can come in. And they are actually painting our offices for us, and we are making them into nice spaces. That's the next level we are going to. So there's clay art. They've used whatever materials are there. And there is space freeing for other work, of course. Everybody is doing that. This is our committee room here in Dak Bhavan. It was in a bad shape because we hadn't renovated it for a long time. So now it's very smart. A lot of new space has come out. We found space there. So, there's space for people to sit. Because of this, we've removed a lot of barriers there. This is just a table tennis, can't really call it a court, table tennis tables, a space in the Shimla Circle Office, because we have welfare activities for our staff. The sport events are there annually. And we made a creche, and this is a creche in Tamil Nadu. There are these counter halls, better facilities for our customers. In the Anda Road head post office, I just visited a few days back. So I find the customers are very happy. And Nukkad Nataks, this is a very fun thing and spreads messages very well. So we do a lot of these, and very good participation. We didn't know our people are such good actors and actresses. So this, again, more views of the Nukkad Natak. This is waste management, best out of waste. And there you can see some plants growing. We also have others, so I think, oh my God, is that my time up? Sounds very frightening. So I better close this. We have to be punctual also. And so reusing things. And this is a very nice, please do go on and see the Instagram posts and all on this. This story of this local tribal woman. She's very popular. She's done great work in the community. Anjana Wike. And Swachhata awareness through children, health checkups, blood donation camps, record management workshops, cyber hygiene, social media outreach has really increased, and we are spreading all the messages. Whatever I get from any ministry, we try to do our best and spread those messages too. So this is our general work that we do, and this is special to the campaigns. Thank you, and we hope to go on doing this work for everybody. Jai Hind.
धन्यवाद मैम। डेलीगेशन एंड डीलेयरिंग, इस विषय पर प्रकाश डालने के लिए हम अनुरोध करते हैं आदरणीय सेक्रेटरी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड हाईवेज श्री उमा शंकर जी, आपसे तालियों के साथ स्वागत है श्री उमा शंकर जी का।
I hope this is okay. सुशासन सप्ताह की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं एंड मेरी क्रिसमस। मंच में बैठे हुए मैडम वंदिता कौल जी, सेक्रेटरी पोस्ट, मैडम रचना शाह जी, सेक्रेटरी डीओपीटी, माय कलीग श्री सीबी जॉर्ज, सेक्रेटरी ईस्ट इन एमईए, मैडम मनीषा सक्सेना जी, श्री मनोज द्विवेदी जी और श्री पुनीत यादव जी, माय कलीग्स इन गवर्नमेंट। दी टाइटल ऑफ द प्रेजेंटेशन दिया गया था डेलीगेशन एंड डीलेयरिंग, मैंने उसमें एक और जोड़ दिया है डिजिटाइजेशन, बिकॉज फ्रैंकली अगर गुड गवर्नेंस की तरफ बढ़ना है, सुशासन की तरफ बढ़ना है, देन डिजिटाइजेशन विल ऑल्सो बी एन इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल जिससे आप डीलेयरिंग और डेलीगेशन अचीव कर सकते हैं। डीलेयरिंग और डेलीगेशन एक तरह से साथ साथ चलते हैं। यू कैनॉट रिड्यूस चैनल्स ऑफ सबमिशन अनलेस देयर इज डेलीगेशन अकम्पनिंग इट। साथ के साथ अगर फाइल्स ऊपर ट्रैवल करनी है, एंड दिस इज अप टू द लेवल ऑफ सेक्रेटरी, जहाँ जहाँ फाइल्स ऊपर ट्रैवल करनी है तो नीचे की एक लेवल आपको हटानी पड़ेगी इफ़ यू हैव टू रिटेन कि ये 4 पे ही हम ये डिसीजन ऑन फाइल्स हम करा पाए। We are a large ministry but a very small workforce. हमारी in terms of the capital budget of government हमें तकरीबन 26% of the entire capital investment of government इस एक मंत्रालय को मिलती है। But the total number of personnel including NHAI, NHI, DCL सब मिला के it is about 2,500. So unlike railways or unlike posts or some of these other departments, we are very lean and thin. अगर हमें effectively अगर काम करना है, आगे पहुंचना है, then unless these 3 things, the 3 Ds come together, हम कभी कर ही नहीं पाएंगे। We have had our shares of successes, but we have also had our shares of failures. सड़क ऐसी चीज है कि जहाँ फेलियर होती है वो एकदम दिखती भी है। So to that extent हमें looking at how delegation and delayering goes, एक मूल मंत्र यही है कि delegation या delayering करते वक्त one has to be very careful कि किस हद तक delegation करनी है, क्या checks and balances उस delegation में build करनी है। If over delegation हो जाए and because we deal with lots of money, कहीं वो प्रॉब्लम कहीं और दिशा में ना चली जाए, दैट ऑल्सो नीड्स टू बी टेकन केयर ऑफ। सो स्पीकिंग अबाउट से डेलीगेशन, आई वॉच्ड द मूवमेंट ऑफ फाइल्स फॉर सम टाइम, जो मेरे पास आया करती थी कि किस तरह की फाइल आ रही है। सम ऑफ द फाइल्स आर प्रीटी रूटीन। अगर एक्सटेंशन ऑफ टाइम दे लें, ईओटीज एक्सटेंशन ऑफ टाइम, जब किसी प्रोजेक्ट की आप इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कर रहे हैं और समय पे नहीं हो रहा है, you have to give an extension of time. That extension of time could be on account of default from our side कि हमने समय पे ज़मीन नहीं दी या clearances नहीं provide करी या decision नहीं provide करी. Some of the issues could have been on account of the contractor. Now आप generally EOT नहीं कर सकते हैं, so you have to decide पहले कि liability किस में पड़ती है। So the delegation then followed कि जहाँ EOT without price escalation है, which means fault of the contractor, which means the other consequences follow, like penalties or whatever, वो delegate कर दिए। लेकिन जहाँ ईओटी में प्राइस इम्प्लीकेशन है वो डेलीगेट नहीं किए. सो फॉर ईच ऑफ दिस वी जस्ट वॉच्ड व्हाट वाज बीइंग डन. उनके केसेस की केस हिस्ट्री थोड़े स्टडी किए. उसके बाद वी वर एबल टू बिल्ड इन व्हाट लेवल ऑफ डेलीगेशन और किस लेवल में डेलीगेशन करनी है वो हम आगे करा पाए. Certainly delegation has improved the pace at which the disposal of or decision making happens. और हमारे लिए any decision making that gets delayed has a cost and a price implication. और that over a period of time accumulate करके वो आपके ऊपर ही पड़ सकता है in case decisions get delayed. The third part is digitization. हम we have focused a lot on digitization to ensure that सिर्फ office work में नहीं, but in terms of general monitoring purposes also interlinked with office work, because lot of office work is monitoring. वो हम कैसे उसको इंटरट्वाइन कर लें कि हम एक डेटा बर्डन आगे ना इम्पोज करें. नहीं अदरवाइज क्या होता है, जब भी आपको रिपोर्ट मांगना है आप अपने इमीडिएटली एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी, जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी को कहेंगे, वो अपने नीचे कहेंगे, वो अपने नीचे कहेंगे, एंड दैट बिकम्स अ डेटा पर्सन फॉर अ पर्सन हु इज ऑलरेडी ओवरलोडेड. Usually the under secretary or the director or deputy secretary is already overloaded. So how do we reduce the burden that people face on account of data? कि हम डेटा फ्लोस को एक इस तरह के सिस्टम करें कि हम वहां से सीधे पुल आउट कर पाए. दैट वाज हाउ वी अप्रोच डिजिटाइजेशन. दिस इज इन टर्म्स ऑफ यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी फॉर डिसीजन मेकिंग. हमारी कई सारी हाईवेज जब प्लानिंग होती है तो वी हैव टू लुक एट द प्रॉपर अलाइनमेंट. नॉर्मली क्या होता है, वो पेपर अलाइनमेंट होती थी या गूगल अर्थ, गूगल इमेजेस, गूगल मैप से या गूगल अर्थ से होती थी. नाउ दीज आर डेटेड, वी डोंट नो व्हाट इज हैपनिंग ऑन द ग्राउंड, ट्रांजैक्शंस क्या हो रहे हैं, डेवलपमेंट्स क्या हो रहे हैं. सो वी सेड दैट हम अभी अलाइनमेंट अगर प्लानिंग करेंगे तो एटलीस्ट 1 महीने पहले तक की ही, बियॉन्ड दैट नहीं होनी चाहिए. एक ड्रोन सर्वे उस एरिया की होनी चाहिए. एंड वी एक्चुअली सी द ड्रोन सर्वे, एंड उसके कारण वी हैव मेड मॉडिफिकेशंस टू अलाइनमेंट्स आल्सो मेनी टाइम्स. जो सजेस्टेड अलाइनमेंट को चेंजेस भी कराए हैं, लुकिंग एट द काइंड ऑफ डेवलपमेंट्स दैट आर हैपनिंग ऑन द ग्राउंड. क्योंकि हमारा काफ़ी काम ज़मीन पे बेस्ड, अनलेस यू अंडरस्टैंड द ले ऑफ द लैंड, हाईवे कंस्ट्रक्शन बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट और आप कॉम्प्लिकेशंस में पड़ जाएंगे. फॉर एग्जांपल इसी में अगर आप थोड़ा सा हल्का सा राइट में शिफ्ट करते हैं, देन द स्ट्रक्चर व्हिच इज टू द राइट विल नीड टू बी डिमोलिश्ड. यू विल गेट इनटू अ कॉम्प्लिकेशन देयर. कोई कोर्ट जाएगा, कोई स्टे ले आएगा, कहीं ना कहीं फंसेगा. सो वंस यू हैव द क्लियर ले ऑफ द लैंड, ये हमारे लिए एविडेंस भी बन जाती है. जब हम अप्रूवल करके जब फाइनलिटी पे जाते हैं, हमारे लिए एविडेंस भी बन जाती है कि उस समय कुछ नहीं था ज़मीन में. फॉर क्वालिटी टेस्टिंग वी हैव स्टार्टेड द कॉन्सेप्ट, अभी रिसेंटली ही इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ है, where quality testing gets done through a mobile quality control van where results get automatically transferred to a central server. ये हमारी काफ़ी शिकायतें होती हैं कि टेस्टिंग जो करते हैं, द रिजल्ट्स गेट मैनिपुलेटेड ऑन द ग्राउंड. एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ इट सड़क खुलते ही वहाँ पर दरारें पड़ जाती हैं या देर आर पोर्टल्स दैट एमर्ज. सो दिस ऑन द टेस्टिंग पार्ट, दिस इज एन आउटफिटेड वैन. इट इज़ अ लोकल इनोवेशन. इसमें ये नहीं था कि ये बना बनाया कुछ आता है, बट हाउ डू यू एम्बेड ऑल द टेस्टिंग रिक्वायरमेंट्स इनटू द व्हीकल एंड यूज दैट फॉर द पर्पसेस ऑफ ऑन द स्पॉट टेस्टिंग. हाँ, the other thing we used was the network service survey vehicle. ये अक्टूबर 2024 में शुरू किए थे, where it is like an X-ray of the road surface. So instead of depending on visual surveys और लोग कह रहे हैं कि रोड बढ़िया है, we adopted this. It's again an outfitted vehicle with lidar cameras fixed on the edges of the vehicle. तो रोड की सरफेस को कैप्चर करता है और उसमें जो thicknesses, densities निकालता है. We did 1 lakh lane kilometer in the last 1 year. और उसमें निकल आया कि 27% ऐसे रोड लेंस थे, जिसमें रेक्टिफिकेशन की ज़रूरत है, जिसमें हमारे लोग कोई बता ही नहीं रहे थे. So this became the basis. Now we have made it mandatory कि maintenance as well as during when completion of construction को indicate करता है, then the network survey vehicle based survey is done और उसके बाद ही हम उसकी clearance या okay देते हैं. Of course app तो is to ensure that inspection maps happen, and we built our GIS network using drone imaging. हम अपनी ड्रोन इमेजिंग आजकल खुद करते हैं. वी इमेज एवरी 4 लेन प्लस रोड एवरी 6 months in rural areas and 3 months in urban areas. और इसी से एंक्रोचमेंट आइडेंटिफिकेशन भी हम, वी डोंट आस्क फॉर साइट सर्विस, एंक्रोचमेंट आइडेंटिफिकेशन भी हम उसी ड्रोन एनालिटिक्स से कर रहे हैं. Land acquisition is also a big issue in our case. तो हमारे लिए we are probably the largest acquirers of land in the country right now. So हम ये जो process streamline करके चला, everybody knows that land acquisition में बहुत सारी things can go wrong. तो how do you monitor and control the process कि इसमें issues ना arise हो? This Bhumi Rashi portal was developed about 4 years back. I mean, started to be developed और चलते चलते अब बिल्कुल ही we have reached steady state. उसमें now we are making payments directly to the person जिसकी ज़मीन जारी है. अब ये नहीं है कि हम वहाँ जो land acquisition officer को पैसे दे रहे हैं और वो आगे further दे रहा है. Just uploads data and payment is directly pushed on to the person concerned after authentication. And इसमें we plan to link it with land records also, ताकि वहीं से हम automatic pick कराएं. अभी तो आदमियों के नाम, the beneficiary list is populated by the land acquisition officer, लेकिन अब वो भी हम सोच रहे हैं कि we'll link it to the land records in states जहाँ पर land records digitize हुए, ताकि वहीं से identify होके आ जाए. This has ensured that our errors in payment are even lower than 0.5%. एंड इसमें ये नहीं आती है कि कॉम्पनसेशन किसी को एक्चुअली मिलना था किसी और के खाते में चली गई. इट्स नॉट हैपनिंग एनी मोर, क्योंकि हम अकाउंट वैलिडेशन भी करवाते हैं थ्रू PFMS बिफोर द पेमेंट इज डन. एंड हमारी इन अ नॉर्मल ईयर our land acquisition payments will be in the region of about 40,000 to 50,000 crores. It is that kind of quantum of money that we are speaking about. तो इसमें errors अगर आ जाते हैं तो it has huge implications. This is the process flow. I will not spend any time on this. जो toll is another thing that all of us face. So through a lot of actions that were taken, we were reduced the cost of toll collection from 17% to 9% in the last 1 year. इसमें automation भी ले आए हैं in terms of monitoring, because हमारे कई सारे toll plazas हैं and we have to have toll collection agencies in place right in time. अगर delay हो जाती है तो then again you are carrying on with the previous agency with the cost implication arising on that account. The other thing that we are planning is cash अब बिल्कुल ही बंद करने जा रहे हैं. We rolled out UPI on 15th November, बड़ा अच्छा चल रहा है. This is in lieu, I mean, FASTag is a primary method. जो cash payment कर रहे थे, which was about 2% of the total number of users, वो भी हमें ख़त्म करना है. So एक तो है कि धक्के से ख़त्म करो, वो होगा नहीं, there will be a public reaction to it. So we said that we offer an alternative to cash, which is UPI. Any four-wheeler owner will definitely have a UPI. तो हमने UPI को roll out किया था, and now that was the precursor. We are now building up the campaign. Already within 1 month, जो 2% cash collections थे, वो अभी about 1% के आसपास आ गए. About 0.9% already, 0.8% already shift हो गया है towards UPI. We'll ensure the remaining shift by April. We will not be accepting cash. So it is both convenience एंड सुशासन के लिए एक तरह से हो कि अकाउंटिंग एंड एवरीथिंग एल्स थिंग्स बिकम फास्टर. कैश टेक्स टाइम, और वहाँ जो कैश पे करता है तो पीछे उसकी लाइन लग जाती है. सो if you move towards this kind of systems, then everybody is benefited. Multi-lane free flow is a new technology जो हम अभी पायलट कर रहे हैं 25 big toll plazas में, where you don't need to stop at the toll plaza, you can flow through. So toll is वैसे ही समय भी आपका खराब होता है, पैसे भी देने पड़ते हैं, तो there is a lot of reaction against that. तो एटलीस्ट पैसे तो हम कम नहीं कर सकते हैं, समय तो ना खराब करें. Sorry, not very familiar with this. It's a small intervention, but it is an across the government kind of an approach. ये मेजर हमारे लिए एक इश्यू होता है रेलवे क्लियरेंसेस की, और देयर इज हार्डली एनी प्रोजेक्ट जिसमें रेलवे क्रॉसिंग नहीं आती है. And railway clearances, because they are a monolith organization, also takes a lot of time. So I'm very thankful to the chairman, railway board and his officers also. Then we set up a joint portal. So ये portal बनवाया हमने है. So we have incurred the cost for development of the portal, but it is jointly owned by both of us. और ये portal actually Railways is now planning to expand to other departments also. He wants permissions for railway crossings. इससे the pace of submission scrutiny बढ़ रही है. One part of it was launched in July this year jointly by Chairman Railway Board and me. और इसको अभी the second part is also ready. So in a sense, how within government we can collaborate to bring a change in the way we govern. वही बात थी. And pain points जहाँ across governments feel, across two ministries of government feel करते हैं, कहाँ हम अपने आपस में collaborate करके कुछ चीज़, एक नई चीज़ निकाल सकते हैं जिससे चीज़ें जल्दी हों. And by the way, this is now be opened up to all departments also. So एक तरह से Ministry of Road Transport और Railways ने मिलके बनाए हैं. Now this can be used by other departments also as they go along. Anyway, thank you, Agya. So I'll stop there. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर. डेस्क ऑफिसर सिस्टम, इस विषय पर प्रकाश डालने के लिए हम अनुरोध करते हैं सचिव मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स श्री सीबी जॉर्ज जी आपसे. यस सर.
This man, how does it work? Yes. Use this, no? Let me try. Yes, it's working. It's working. You don't need to open it. Good afternoon, everybody. Madam Rachna Shah, Secretary DOPT. Madam Vandita Kaur, Secretary Post. Shri V. Umashankar, Secretary Moth. Other distinguished guests, secretaries on the dais, my colleagues, friends, very happy to join this important occasion today on the National Workshop on Good Governance and Practices. Greetings to all on the occasion of Christmas and homage to our former Prime Minister, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, who also had served as External Affairs Minister for a long time. In fact, he was the first External Affairs Minister to speak in the United Nations in Hindi, which we always cherish. And he is the one who transformed a great deal India's foreign policy, particularly with the nuclear tests which has helped us to elevate our position and profile as one of the leading countries in the community, in the Committee of Nations. The topic given to me today is the desk officer system. I'm sure that all are familiar with the desk officer system in our ministries. But why is it that MEA was asked to make, Ministry of External Affairs was asked to make a presentation on the desk officer system? I understand that my predecessors have been doing this for the last few years. Perhaps it is because there is some different, some unique way the Ministry of External Affairs works when it comes to its desk officer system. I have a beautiful presentation put together by the desk officer in charge of administration in the ministry. He is present here with us, and I will definitely go through that presentation. But let me start with a story. You may not remember my presentations, but definitely you will remember this story which I am going to tell. It's an experience that I had when I was a senior officer in the Indian Embassy in Islamabad in Pakistan almost 20 years back. One fine morning, we got a court notice from the Sindh High Court. You know, the Karachi is the capital of Sindh High Court. It pertained to a property that we owned in Karachi. Government of India owns 5 big properties in Karachi, including a beach house. So we have 5 properties. This court notice was about a property which we owned in Karachi. And the court notice was that one of these big properties you have in Karachi, you have sold it to a Pakistani national some 50 years back, that is in the 1960s. And they produced a sales deed signed by none other than the then President of India and countersigned by the External Affairs Minister of India. Was produced in the court. So court has issued us a notice asking us to explain why you have been vacated the place. So we went through the document. Of course, it was forgery. It was forged. So, but how did we prove it? The document was signed by the then President of India and the External Affairs Minister of India. And you all government officers know that every important document is signed by the Under Secretary, not the President or the External Affairs Minister. That is why desk officer is very important, and we won the case. The property still belongs to us. So always be proud that we were all under secretaries, and that was the most important period of our career, particularly in Ministry of External Affairs. Now let me go through my presentations. Desk officer system. It is, of course, based on the defined in our manual of office procedure manual, which is given in it, but we have tried to live up to the expectations of our the people who have formed the manual. The desk officer is, normally it is the Under Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs or a Deputy Secretary who is the desk officer. We have around 225 desk officers handling various wings in the ministry. We have around 60 divisions in the ministry, 60 divisions headed by joint secretaries or additional secretaries in the Ministry of External Affairs. But these divisions are divided into various wings, which starts with an Under Secretary or a Deputy Secretary who is in charge of the particular wing. But he is so important that in our system, you can see in the next one, there is a clear ownership of the work. That means the files, all important files, starts with the Under Secretary, starts with the desk officer, and it ends with the desk officer. He is the one who pilots it to all the way at whatever level it is required. He is or she is the eyes and ears of the minister, of the secretary, and of the ministry. And in today's world, we face so much of geopolitical challenges in our neighborhood, in our extended neighborhood, all across. Any part of the world, any development has an impact on us today. You know the impact which the Ukraine conflict had on us, whether it is related to evacuation of our students, 20,000 of them from there, or the price rise when it comes to oil, or whether it is related to the fertilizer non-availability, food security, you name it. All the challenges had an impact. So it is for the desk officer who needs to keep his eyes and ears open on a daily basis, 24/7 basis, and keep the leadership informed. So I'll come to various wings, how we handle it, but this is important. Next slide. What I would like to highlight that different countries have different models of desk officers, but we found that the desk officer system that the Ministry of External Affairs has is more or less similar to what some of the administratively, I would say, advanced countries have. For example, Singapore, or South Korea, or Japan, or Germany, or US. At least I have served in 2 of these countries, so I have personally experienced how their systems work. And what I would like to focus is that we have been doing this presentation. It would be useful for some of you to come and actually visit the Ministry of External Affairs and see for yourself how it works, rather than just an annual presentation by us. So now let me go to various areas covered by the Ministry of External Affairs. As I said, there are around 60 divisions in the ministry. Many of them are divided on the basis of territorial divisions. That is also the format in many other ministries, particularly in the Commerce Ministry, I understand. But territorial divisions in EMEA is the key divisions. Again, in one territorial division, we have a few undersecretaries who would be specializing in various countries. Then the multilateral and regional ones, we have a L&T division, legal and treaties division, which is a very important division. Every treaty, every MOU, every letter of intent which we sign with any foreign entity is being vetted by the L&T division in the ministry. Economic relations, policy planning, cyber and IIT, we work very closely with the department, MAIT. Then external and public outreach, the external ministry spokesperson who gives his, who keeps the world updated about the developments in India and also our relations with the rest of the world. Let me just touch upon passport, visas and consul. On an average, we issue 1 crore passports every year, new passports, and spread all over the country. So many passport offices. I'm very happy that we are working very closely with the Department of Posts when it comes to the passport services. And so we were able to reach out to the every village, every constituency in India, because we were working together also with the Department of Posts. Again, it is the desk officers who actually monitor the developments from headquarters on this. Then admin establishment and cultural diplomacy. We also have work very closely with the Ministry of Culture, but we have the Indian Council for Cultural Relations, ICCR, which has offices in many of the countries. Moving ahead, again, it's very important for a desk officer to work very closely, not only within the Ministry of External Affairs with other divisions, other wings, but also with each of the line ministries. The success or failure of any ambassador abroad, any Indian ambassador abroad, depends largely on how he or she is able to engage and connect with the line ministries, each one of these ministries. Like we always proudly tell, as an ambassador, I used to say very proudly that the average new highways, a number of kilometers of new highways that we make every day in this country is around 25 kilometers. We proudly say that. So it is also help us to connect with the line ministries, and again in that the desk officers play a very important role. Now let me move off the, we have found the system to be working quite well. It also helps us to reduce the number of levels. In many cases, we have empowered the undersecretaries, the desk officer, to take decisions. It is not seeking instructions. It is to make recommendations. We always tell our undersecretaries as the desk officer, it is your responsibility to come up with recommendations. I know there are these three options available to us. I recommend this option. It is not that there are these three options, you may decide. No, it is not passing the buck, but to take responsibility, and that helps empower the officer. That also helps the decision making to come to a level which we don't have to take decisions at a higher level all the time. Now let me go to the next slide. Yes, as this I explained earlier, 225 desk officers. And let's just remember that. I remember my colleague Sri Umashankar mentioned about the size, the number of personnel. Again, Ministry of External Affairs is a small ministry when it comes to the number of personnel. On an average, we have less than 1,000 officers in the entire ministry, spanning the ministry headquarters here, the passport offices which I mentioned spread all over the country, and around 190 embassies and consulates all over the world. It's a small ministry, but handling the entire spectrum of our relationship with the rest of the world, and at the same time many matters concerning domestic, like the passport issues, which is very important. We also give a lot of emphasis on grievance redressal, given the fact that we are 30 million Indians abroad today, either Indian nationals or Indian origin people, 30 million. That is as big as the size of the population of many countries in the world, Canada's population or Australia's population. So many of them have over a period of time, their expectations have gone up. Expectations from Government of India, expectations from Ministry of External Affairs. So it's very important for us to have grievance redressal mechanisms. CPGRAM is one such a example, but we also have our own measures we have taken in taking this forward. So I just wanted to again emphasize, desk officer system is a very unique system which is operating quite well in India, well in the Ministry of External Affairs. It also helps in the specialization. The persons who are working, say for example, in the External Affairs spokesperson's office now as desk officers, would be able to focus on how to deal with the media, how to engage with international media, and then grow in the service, and at the same time continue to meet our expectations from the leadership when it comes to media management. So we have a long way to go again in the Ministry of External Affairs. We are making progress in e-governance, e-movement of files. It is going on. It needs a lot of efforts which we are putting in. More issues to be disposed of at lower levels. I said it is happening, but we need to make progress there. Again, our deliberations need to be for more decision making at every level. Integration of office and officers also a work in progress. I think I leave it at that. Once again, thank you for this opportunity to join you.
थैंक यू सर। और अब ई ऑफिस 7.0 इस विषय पर प्रस्तुति देने के लिए हम सादर आमंत्रित करते हैं आदरणीय डेप्यूटी डायरेक्टर जनरल NIC इंचार्ज ऑफ ई ऑफिस डिवीजन सुश्री अंजलि ढींगरा जी को। तालियों के साथ स्वागत है।
Respected secretaries to the Government of India sitting on the dais, senior officers, colleagues from NIC, a very good afternoon to all of you. Probably there is nobody in this gathering who is not a user of e-office. Today I'm going to talk about some of the new features that we have introduced in e-office and some that are being planned for the future. So before that, the outreach of e-office is being described here. The project started in the year 2010, and we have come a long way. About 1.5 decade has passed on, and it is operational in almost all the ministries and departments. Beyond, it is operational in 31 states and union territories, and it has gone further, and it is being implemented in 462 district administrations throughout the country. If you look at the map here, almost the entire map is green, which shows that it is being operational throughout the country, barring a few states. And let me also pause here to tell you that we have a very good implementation framework that is being supported, and that all these implementations are being supported by a central PMU. In each of the state, we have one NIC officer who takes care of e-office implementations and supports them. And in the central ministries and departments, we have, each department has hired one support personnel who has been specially trained by us. And that is how our L1, L2, and L3 mechanism operates. So besides bringing in new features, we also keep on working as to how the implementation should be further smoothened out. So a total of 1386 ministries, departments, MDOs, I must say, and even PSUs are part of it. And there is a total user base of about 16 lakh users that we are supporting today. Some of the features that we have recently introduced includes Bhashini, and now it will facilitate, you can dictate notes, you will speak, and it will write on its own. This is a feature we have recently introduced, and we are hoping that it will really facilitate people who are writing down the notings especially. They can use this feature, and it is working very well, and we are using it. Many of the officers in NIC are also using it. Recently, we have also introduced a mobile app. This mobile app can be used on anywhere work mechanism. If you are on in your car, you can use this mobile app. But due to security features, it will be accessed using Zscaler. Majority of the ministries and departments have now moved on to Zoho email and must be familiar with the ZTA or the Zscaler, which is the VPN through which we access email. Through the same mechanism, we can access this mobile app as well. So this is another feature that we have introduced very recently. Vishleshan is driven by DRPG itself, and this is an e-office analytics dashboard that helps monitoring of the pendency of the files or the disposal times of the file. This is also being enhanced on a day-to-day basis, and this is coming up to be a very good analytics platform as far as e-office is concerned. Recently, we have also introduced an e-learning course on iGot platform, and around 10,000 users have already started looking at this training program. People who are new to e-office, who have moved from states to here, or who are have not used e-office before, they can go to the iGot platform, and the newly introduced features we keep on adding, and you can go through these courses and can know about the new features and how it operates. These are some of the key features that are there in e-office. As we already know, that this is based on the Central Secretariat Manual of Office Procedure, CSMOP. And technically, if I speak, it is a single code base which is being implemented throughout the country, which means whatever features we introduce from time to time, the upgrades and versions are passed on to each and every location. And this is built on using open source tools and technologies. The data security is assured. Recently, we have introduced a features whereby the notings are encrypted now. Notings that we write on the left-hand side, they are encrypted now. And it is a G2E platform, we all know. There are interministerial files, and the government to employee communication also happens on e-office. It enhances the transparency and accountability, needless to say. And it allows seamless exchange of files between the departments. And another important feature is that it is promoting less paper offices and is a Go Green initiative. So these are some of the features that are there in e-office. And let me go into slightly more into a technical details of it. It is a document-based system. So, which means that all the notings, all the attachments, all the references, they exist as documents themselves. And for storing these documents, we are using a technology called MongoDB. So whenever somebody is wanting, some external application is wanting to be integrated with us, we integrate on the basis of document exchange. Unlike other applications that are largely data entry based, this is not a data entry based application. This is a document based application, and the mechanism of exchange is through documents only. This, as I said, is the complete outreach which is described here. It is not only the central government ministries and departments, there are number of state governments, district administrations, the Supreme Court of India, there are high courts, 7 high courts are there, and some of the PSUs are also using e-office throughout the country. And one SPV, GSTN, they are also using e-office, and the number is growing day by day. Besides technical mechanism, we also are a self-sufficient, we also have a self-sufficient mechanism to sustain this product. And we have a business model around it that sustains this product. And we are hopeful that we will soon be migrating to a newer version of infrastructure, which will be more secure, which will have web application firewalls, sandboxes, etc., to support e-office further. Now, if you see the rise of usage of e-files, if in comparison to the total files in the Central Secretariat, it is heartening to note that over a period of 5-year span, 95% of the files are e-files now. So a lesser number of files are physical files, 95% of them are electronic files these days. This shows the interministerial enhancement in interministerial 5 movement in Central Secretariat, and that also shows a rising trend. Some of the benefits we are already aware that it helps us monitor pendency, it helps us track files where the file is lying, it helps us see our disposal times. And besides, we keep audit trails of what we are doing. So tomorrow, if there is any eventuality, we are able to pinpoint where exactly the problem is. It has a scalable architecture. We are able to support increasing number of users, and we are hosted on a secure cloud environment. As far as the future map is concerned, in January itself, we are going to bring out AI interventions, which means that if higher decision-making officers are not wanting to go through the entire files and are wanting a summary of the notings, the AI chatbot will give a summary of the entire notings just on the click of a button. This feature we are going to introduce in January 2026. Another important feature that we are going to bring up is the e-signing of multiple files in a single go, which means I will be able to select at least 10 files, and in a single go, I will be putting the OTP, and it will e-sign all the 10 files in one go. This will help reduce the time for the senior officers, and 10 files will be signed in a single go. We are also bringing up a minimal e-office web version. As I said, we already have a mobile app, but that is accessible through Zscaler. There are a large number of users that are akin to that. They are more familiar with X-Access Web VPN. When we work from home, we are used to going to S-Access and then use our e-office. So we are bringing up a minimal e-office version, which will be available over S-Access. It will work exactly like mobile, but will be able to work over S-Access. And then in the Vishleshan also, we are going to bring new enhancements. Apart from file movement, we will also be monitoring receipt movement, how they are going on. And then DARPG is contemplating bringing a policy for reading and archival of e-files, and soon these will also be implemented in our e-office version, upcoming version. With this, I end my short presentation. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
थैंक यू मैम। और अब हम मंच पर आमंत्रित करते हैं आदरणीय श्री रत्नेश झा जी को, एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर पीजी, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रेलवेज। आपसे अनुरोध है स्पेशल कैंपेन 5.0 पर अपने विचार प्रकट करें। तालियों के साथ स्वागत करें श्री रत्नेश झा जी का।
Good afternoon to all. I know it's almost lunch time, so the dictum of minimum government and maximum governance should not stop you and keep you away from the lunch. So I will try to be brief. On the dais, Madam Rachna Saji, Secretary DOPT, DRPG and DOPPW, Sri Uma Sankar, Secretary Road Transport and Highway, Sri CV George, Secretary MEA, Madam Vandita Kaul, Secretary Post, Madam Manisha Saxena, Additional Secretary DOPT, Sri Manoj Dwivedi, Additional Secretary DOPT, and Sri Puneet Yadavji, Additional Secretary DARPG. So far as special campaign is concerned, it has been a platform for railways in a very unique and positive manner. As you have just heard from few of the speakers, that most of the organizations in this country are very lean. Railway, on the other side, is not a very lean organization. We have about 15 lakh employees working for us. And more than that, we have about 2 crore users using us, our resources, our services every day. So almost 700 crore passengers every year. This campaign provided us not only to take the concepts of good governance, efficient delivery to our own employees, but it also gave us a platform to let the users know that what are their duties which can help us in giving them a better services. The campaign 5.0 was mostly emphasizing upon institutionalizing Swachhata, minimizing pendency, and a focus was on digital monitoring of the various services that we were able to provide. Indian Railway try to focus during the campaign on an outreach so that we could reach to every station, every nook and corner, and also to involve all our field offices, be it the zonal railways, the division offices, the public sector units under the ministry, the production units, the workshops, and more than 10,000 plus railway stations. An important initiative that we took during this campaign was to have innovative digitalization and initiatives with the digital interface. For example, cleanliness, as we all know, is a major factor for Indian Railways. So we introduced a Swachhata monitoring app, where not only deployment of manpower, quality of output, even real-time photos could be uploaded, and it can be monitored with various MIS which was available in the app. Taking the services to the citizen in a very easy and proficient manner, we had another business process re-engineered. We issue concession IDs to Divyangjan passengers who are allowed to have a concession when they buy railway tickets. So earlier, whenever the new card was to be made or it was to be renewed, at least one visit was required by the person to one of the railway offices. Now this entire thing has been brought onto an e-platform, and everything can be done digitally without visiting the railway offices even for once. On the maintenance side, we had one app that we developed for wheel profile management in the workshops. Wheel profile management is a very critical and important criteria in terms of railway safety in train operations. So here there was a manual flow workflow. The charts would be prepared, then the work would be allotted to the concerned workshop flow, and it would be a time consuming, not much of data available when the next time the same set of wheels come to the workshop, and there was lack of efficiency as well. Now this, we brought this app and linked it with a tablet. Now everything is there, it is recorded, so anytime the next time that wheel sets are coming, the person knows that what was the trouble last time, and it flows from there. So it has enhanced the efficiency and made the things more safe. We also had a lot of emphasis on cleanliness. We have now covered almost all major railway stations completely with mechanized cleaning. And we have also introduced automatic train washers, as you can see on the second picture in this slide. A new feature that we have brought in is drone cleaning. Please play the video. Yeah, thank you. So cleaning itself was not an end for ourselves. We also started to focus a lot on clearing the public and office spaces. So a lot of emphasis was laid upon scrap disposal, and we in fact achieved quite a high figure in terms of revenue earned from scrap disposal. In fact, we thought that in special campaign 4.0, we have outdone ourselves when we achieved rupees 450 crores plus. But I'm happy to share with all of you that this year we have not only surpassed that figure, we have gone almost up to rupees 570 crores. And this has almost brought 40% of total scrap disposal revenue earned by Government of India during the campaign. This year's campaign had especially focused on e-waste. So as Honorable Minister was mentioning in his address, that we not only got space freed from this, we also earned about 2.5 crores of revenue from disposal of e-waste lying here and there in our offices. Of course, all of this meant freeing up of space. So we created some very aesthetic waiting areas for our passengers. Some of the pictures are just to give you a glimpse. Here, there was an old store room not being used for anything but for putting some waste material. It has been converted into a reading room now. You can see it for yourself. The other aspect of the entire process was how to create art from waste as well as wealth from waste. So we have made these Make in India logo. It was completely made of scrap metal out of a workshop. This 11-feet horse, it is now in front of the Bangalore railway station. So this was again made by one of the coaching workshops in the city using scrap metal. This replica of a Bodhi tree, we have made this in Banaras Loco Works, and now it is prominently displayed at one of the public crossings in the city of Varanasi, and it has been praised by Honorable Prime Minister as well. Southeastern Railway, during the puja, they had this inclination to why not make a temple out of our waste. So this temple was built out of the waste in the city of Havra. Other aspect that we have focused on during this campaign is environment friendliness. I'm happy to share with all of you that Indian Railways has already started to explore alternate fuel for mobility, and we have introduced for the testing first hydrogen train in India. Now, we are only the 5th country in the world to have a hydrogen train which is in a running condition, even though it is in the testing phase right now. And it is based on hydrogen fuel cell. And the only emission that comes out of this train is water vapors. So I'm sure that once the trials are complete, this train is going to be run in the NCR area only, ma'am, so that we can fight away with this pollution as well. And currently it is being tested in Jind Sonipat section of the Indian Railways. We have also been trying to harness renewable energy as and where possible. Now, this is just a sample photograph that I have put up. This is Chennai railway station. You can see the solar panels on the roof of the station. However, we have been harnessing solar energy for long now. And during the campaign, we have put around 70 more stations where we have put solar panels, and we are trying to harness solar energy from running from hydrogen train, we have come down to even making fabricated bird houses. So these are being awarded and gifted to school children around the colonies within the railway fraternity as well. Plastic has been a major menace for us at the railway stations. So we have tried to put plastic crushing machines at the railway station. In fact, incidentally, these are machines put by private players who want to take the plastic back, and they are paying some revenue as well to the railways for this. Another feature was lying of plastic bottle here and there, empty bottles on the railway stations. So now we have installed plastic bottle recycling. As a passenger, if you come and bring your plastic bottle to recycle, you will get some credits out of it. So we are trying to spread it far and wide across the railway system, ecosystem. And we are not neglecting small little things as well. So anything such as a garden waste or a kitchen waste is also being converted into compost and being used. This year's feature,
भारत अपने संकल्पों के साथ
this year's campaign, last year, ma'am, we had done Rail Chaupal, where we had a citizen-centric interaction. But we thought that we could not get many ideas out of such interaction. So guided by Honorable Prime Minister's clarion call of Amrit Kal and Panch Pran to achieve that, Indian Railway has embarked upon a major infrastructure work, which is called Amrit Bharat Station Scheme. So we are trying to redevelop or rebuild stations, and we are also trying to do it around the Panch Pran given by Honorable Prime Minister. So for example, we are trying to bring, one of the prans is to do away with the colonial mindset. So we're trying to bring in processes where things will be based on Indian ethos, Indian languages. Then other is how to make citizens responsible for their duties. So we were trying to do that as well. So we have a small video on how we have done this Amrit Samvad. We did it almost more than 1,000 station plus and involved more than 1.5 crore people in this. Can we play this video, please?
भारत अपने संकल्पों के साथ एक विकसित राष्ट्र बनने की राह पर अग्रसर है। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के पंच प्रणों ने अनेक पहलें शुरू की हैं। इसी दृष्टि के साथ भारतीय रेल ने कई पहलें शुरू की हैं। अमृत भारत स्टेशन योजना, पुनर्निर्माण और नवनिर्माण के कार्य जो राष्ट्र निर्माण की पटरियों को नई दिशा दे रहे हैं। इन्हीं प्रेरणाओं से ओतप्रोत होकर भारतीय रेल, जो देश की जीवन रेखा है, ने आरंभ किया है एक अद्भुत पहल, अमृत संवाद। यह पहल केवल एक कार्यक्रम नहीं, बल्कि एक विचार है, जनता को सुनने और उसकी आवाज को भारतीय रेल की दिशा में शामिल करने का मंच।
There is a commendable job done by the team in keeping it clean. Very happy with the cleanliness that is maintained across the railway station.
The station as it was a couple of years back and now what it is. Huge difference and a lively appearance here.
तो साफ सफाई बहुत ही अच्छा है। अमृत भारत का दर्जा भी मिल चुका है।
बहुत सारे फैसिलिटीज हैं जिससे मैं सेटिस्फाइड हूँ। जैसे कि अभी चार्जिंग पोर्ट वहाँ पे लगा हुआ, तो जब से लाइक मेरा फोन डेड होता है तो आई कैरी माई चार्जर विद मी, तो वहाँ पे मैं चार्जिंग कर लेता हूँ मेरा फोन।
रेलवे स्टेशन पे पहुँच के आ सकता बातें।
थैंक यू।
भारत अब
को बड़ी सभी तरह की सुविधा होती है। पहले की
थैंक यू सर। और अब मैं मंच पर आमंत्रित करती हूँ संयुक्त सचिव पेंशन श्री ध्रुवज्योति सेनगुप्ता जी को। सर, आपसे अनुरोध है आदरणीय सचिव कार्मिक लोक शिकायत तथा पेंशन मंत्रालय सुश्री रचना शाह जी को स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। महोदय, आदरणीय सचिव डाक विभाग सुश्री वंदिता कौल जी को भी स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। पुनः अनुरोध है सर, सचिव मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रोड ट्रांसपोर्ट एंड हाईवेज श्री वी उमाशंकर जी को भी स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। मंच पर आमंत्रित है संयुक्त सचिव डीओपीटी श्री बालकृष्ण जी। सर आपसे अनुरोध है, श्री बालकृष्ण जी आपसे अनुरोध है, कृपया आदरणीय सचिव मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स श्री सीबी जॉर्ज जी को स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। पुनः अनुरोध है आपसे, आदरणीय ईओ और अपर सचिव डीओपीटी सुश्री मनीषा सक्सेना जी को स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। सर आपसे पुनः अनुरोध है, श्री मनोज कुमार द्विवेदी जी को जेएस डीओपीटी स्मृति चिन्ह एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी श्री मनोज कुमार द्विवेदी जी को स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। धन्यवाद सर। अब हम आमंत्रित करते हैं मंच पर संयुक्त सचिव डीओपीटी श्री एस डी शर्मा जी को। सर आपसे अनुरोध है, संयुक्त सचिव एएस डीएआरपीजी श्री पुनीत यादव जी को स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। श्री रत्नेश झा जी मंच पर पुनः आमंत्रित हैं। आपसे निवेदन है सर, रत्नेश झा जी को भी स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। मंच पर एक बार पुनः आमंत्रित हैं सुश्री अंजलि ढींगरा जी। महोदय आपसे अनुरोध है, सुश्री अंजलि ढींगरा जी को भी स्मृति चिन्ह भेंट करें। धन्यवाद सर। सभी मंचासीन गणमान्यों का हम एक बार पुनः आभार व्यक्त करते हैं। सभी अतिथियों का भी बहुत बहुत आभार। आप सबकी उपस्थिति और सहयोग से आज का ये कार्यक्रम सफलतापूर्वक संपन्न हुआ। बहुत बहुत आभार, धन्यवाद, नमस्कार, जय हिंद। और आप सबके लिए भोजन की व्यवस्था की गई है सेकंड फ्लोर पे। नमस्कार, जय हिंद।